Like what kind of like Middle Eastern type of nutty? Like
I don't think they go that crazy, but I don't know. Hey, Maltese friends, why don't you hit us up? Let us know the status of your country. Next time we're in Italy, we'll hop over, maybe do a PFC overseas. PFC 251. Yeah, I was going to say 252. 251. We apologize for not releasing an episode year today. We had a bit of technical issues. Lost power to the studio. Couldn't record. Fluke occurrence. Don't know what the hell happened. We definitely paid the bill, though, so that's not it. But we're in here now, in your ear, plugged in, talking World Cup. We're just going to go chronologically from the games that happened previously. Then we'll wrap up with the Group A and B match day 3 games that happened. So we'll open it up. I know it was a long time ago, guys, but you're going to have to bear with us. We're talking France 1, Peru 0. And unfortunately, with that loss, Peru is eliminated from the World Cup.
Wow.
No wins in 2 games. They got a match day 3 coming up versus Australia. They could play spoilers if they want, but Mbappe Lotin gets the winner here from a fortunate deflection off Giroud's shot.
Look, man, this kid's special. I'm glad to see him score, and kind of stole that goal. I thought it was going to go in anyway.
It's a bit Nani-esque.
Yeah, man, but shit, he's the youngest French player to score in a World Cup, so congratulations to him for that.
At 19 years and 183 days.
Insane, man. But that just goes to show. That goes to show this kid's special. He has a bright future. He's a potential Ballon d'Or winner if he keeps going.
Tell me one player that scored before him. Well, younger than him. Played for the U.S.
Lando?
Nope.
Pulisic?
Nope.
Green.
Yep.
Green the other day. Yeah, scored against France, actually.
What was it, 4 years ago? But he only beat him by a certain amount of days. But look, right away, I was surprised. Matuidi playing that advanced left wing role. Al even said, "Is Pogba really playing behind Matuidi right now?" But that first half, I mean, that belonged to France. But I think the real story is France's second half. They were subdued. They were lackluster. They were cement shoes. But Peru, oh my goodness! If there was a team that you want to show a young kid how to play, Peru looked outstanding. Minus the fact they didn't score a goal, but they're passing, they're moving, the energy off the ball, their straight up passion for any. They would have taken the soccer ball to the face just to score, just to save anything. That's how much passion they had. Man. And Pogba, first half, yeah, good. Second half, I think he was, to me. When he got the ball in the advanced position, he would pass the ball and get it intercepted. Pogba is one of those tricky plays where you've heard multiple people, even his own coaches, talk about he cares about his own hairstyle more than the game. He is the one exception, one of the very few exceptions that I'll give, that I almost feel like he needs to have that mojo, that flair. He needs to have that crazy hair. He needs to have that confidence on the field. So for him, I think people should just kind of relax on him. Even though I was one of the critics, I think I'm taking a step back now. I think I'm going to say, you know what? Do your thing. Whatever makes you feel most energetic and most
confident
out there and more comfortable out there, dude, go ahead, do it. If you need to have crazy hair, go do it. Because you know what? Right now, when he's taking a step back, yeah, he has the haircut, but he doesn't have like all those crazy colors. He's right now is to me.
So you're taking a step backtrack.
Yeah, I kind of want him to kind of do the whole Ricky Vaughn Major League. I want you to get that crazy hair. I want you to cut off the sleeves of that leather jacket. I want you to be crazy.
To Tom's point, he always says it, man. Pogba needs one thing: a manager who believes in him. I'm not saying Mourinho doesn't quite believe in him, but Mourinho has done a lot to hurt his confidence. Yes, is in Mourinho's head, it's for the betterment of Pogba. It's to get the best out of Pogba for the team. But that has absolutely hurt this kid's creativity. But also to also throw some blame on Pogba, I think he's overthought his game. This guy's a hell of a range passer, but a lot of times you'll see him doing step-overs on the spot, and it's like if you keep the ball moving and you get into that rhythm, it's the one complaint I have about Neymar. There's a lot of stopping the ball, letting the defense recover, and then taking someone on versus that direct play. If he goes 1 or 2 touches, especially with a guy like Griezmann in there, his best friend, or Dembele or Mbappe, fast guys like that, you unlock, and you know those guys will find you, if you're bombing forward. But I don't think he's been too bad. He hasn't been that $100 million Pogba we all came to know at Juventus. He hasn't been that dude for a long time. And it's going to be a very telling season coming up for him, man. If he has another mediocre season, last season I think he had 6 goals, 10 assists. The season before that, I think it was 4 and 7, something like that. So
he's gotten better,
quote unquote better, but not at the rate we expect a guy like him to get better at. But this coming season, if he doesn't go 10 and 10 or 15 assists is hard, but 10 and 10, or maybe 15 and 10 in all comps,
getting 10 goals from a
tough.
Central midfield position that's a lot to ask for. I mean, I don't think we should judge Pogba solely by the statistics or whether he has a good season or not. Judge him by passes completed, judge him by, how was he affecting the game? How was he controlling the game? Because he's not an attacking midfielder. He's not a striker. So I think judging him solely by goals and assists is kind of unfair. And I think he's one of the most criticized players in the game we have today.
For sure.
And I think he's been unfairly criticized in some regards. I think there has been some fair criticism of him, but for the most part, I think it has been, some unfair stuff that's been going his way. And for me, maybe I think he's the type of player, like his body language a lot throws people off, kind of like Ozil. Like what
Martial as well.
Martial,
Yeah,
that's what I was thinking.
Martial as well. There's guys like that where you look at them when they're playing, like, oh, maybe he's not working that hard, or this guy's taking too much time on the ball. I think, look, man, it's part of his game. He is a growing player, and I think this season is a big season for him.
It's make or break.
And he has to play well, but to judge him, just like, all right, if he doesn't get 10 goals.
No, look, by 10 and 10, I'm saying the productivity has to be there. I understand, you want...
That's a lot of goals from central midfield.
Yeah, absolutely it is. But that's the standard he's compared to. You know what I mean? Guys like Toni Kroos, Modric, obviously different teams, I understand.
Kroos
Thiago Alcantara. Yeah, not 10 goals, but you can see Kroos, the productivity is there, the passes are there. Pogba's missing 5-yard passes.
Rate.
He's missing 5-yard passes, and that has a lot to do with confidence, not his ability. We all know he can make a 60, 70-yard long ball on a dime. Yeah. But that confidence to miss a 5-yard pass at his level, at his pressure, it's got to be better next season. And I think Fred coming in will help him. Fred has a bit of creativity about him. He's a number 8, can kind of play number 10, being Brazilian. I don't think they'll play him in that 10 spot. I think that's Lingard's. But being able to break out of that midfield, break that first wave of pressure, Fred break that first wave of pressure, release Pogba. That's when you have Pogba at his best, when he's running at defenders. He can spot a pass. That's what I mean. So the 10 and 10 for me is a bar. It's not a make or break, but it's a bar. He should be aspiring for 10 goals, 10 assists. If he gets 8 and 10, bro, and has an 80, 90% pass accuracy, I'm happy, dude. And assists are so hard to get because the other guy has to finish, But, Pogba, you know what a baller is. Watching Pogba this season at United, he wasn't a baller.
Well, there's a couple of things that we have to talk about. We talked about Kroos and Modric and all that. They're not putting themselves out there as much as Pogba.
True.
And then it just so happens that he's also a much bigger physical specimen, shall we say. When it comes down to it, we expect him to win those headers in the box. We expect him to do a little bit more. What is...
Nothing.
Oh, I said when it comes down to it, yeah. I had to retrace what I said. Shoot now. So kind of the blame sort of has to go to him anyways, because when he was at Juventus, he didn't have to be the guy. He had to be one of the guys, but he had Pirlo behind him. Then he also had the entire team was chasing down that ball so they could give it to Pirlo. And you know what? Let's be honest. You can dribble through the Italian midfield easier than in England because someone will come up and just break your ankle in England. And then he made the switch to United where he had that emoji. He had the hairstyles. He had the fee attached to him. He had to be that guy at 23 years old or 22 years old, wherever he was.
There was one game early in the season, might have been his first game, where literally all the advertising boards for 90 fucking minutes said #Pogba. That's how much of a stage, a spotlight was put on this kid.
Yeah,
but he's got to stop playing.
He stepped up on that podium. He stepped up on that pedestal. No one put him there. He rose to that. So a couple things on Peru real quick. Look, they could have benefited a couple more, I think, from overlaps. There's a lot of times that wingers were just taking on defenders. If they had an overlap, I think that would have helped them out a lot more. Aquino, that plays the midfield.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of MLS teams missed out on this guy because he just signed for Lyon in Liga MX. Little fun fact, Landon Donovan's ex-team that he did not just re-sign to.
like that.
But this guy, I think if he didn't sign and he held on a little bit longer, he could have got some money because he played outstanding. I think there was a time that
Hit the post.
I forget his name, but there was another player who got the yellow card, then they come back and give it to him. And I remember, I think it was Wagner, the commentator. She's like, "Oh, another successful time for VAR." Well, they didn't use VAR, I don't believe. I believe the referee just put his fingers up to his ear. I think it was actually the AR, not the VAR. But Peru, they did really good. And then the last part is France. Their right back, Ben Pavard.
Yep.
I don't know if you can look any more French. He's a tall, skinny, white dude with like the
Mad
curly
curl,
hair.
yeah.
I actually looked it up a little bit. He kind of I saw a picture that kind of reminded me of him, like Karl the 14th Johann of Sweden, and that's because
That's so
well, his
random.
name is Jean Baptiste Bernadotte. He was big into the military in France and during the French Revolution. So he actually, because the Swiss king had 2 kids die in infancy, and then his adopted son died. So he went over. He went for, I guess you say, the job and became the Prince of Sweden and took over the royal. But I don't know.
Thanks for the history lesson.
But
Pavard,
but
man.
no, like that, like their faces and like these. Because I looked up, I was actually looking up on who would actually look like this dude. That's the guy that kind of looks like him. Like
So
he
you
looks
tell
so.
me Pogba doesn't look French? Conte doesn't look French. Dembele doesn't look French. No, I'm kidding, dude.
Maybe a little Mbappe. I don't know.
Dude, Andre Carrillo, absolute beast for Peru, man. This guy was got by Watford on a free transfer from Benfica. They loaned him right back to Benfica last season. That's why we didn't see him. I was looking him up, and I was like, wait, Watford? How did Watford not use this guy? This coming season, if Watford doesn't hold on to this guy and start him early, just an athlete. I hope he keeps his blonde haircut too, man. He's out there scaring people, grabbing attention. That's how he got me, man.
Yeah.
I just saw 2 guys with blonde haircuts, the right back as well.
Peru's got wingers for days.
Dude, the pace that
Jefferson
this team
Farfan
plays
as
with.
well.
Dude, Farfan with
Yeah.
the muscles up there, and your boy Guerrero with the aggression.
He's a beast.
Yeah, man.
I
I
like
hope this guy's a good season next season at Watford.
And this Peru team, man, they had a good showing at the World Cup. I mean, obviously not the way they wanted to go out, but I mean, they show pride. They look dangerous every game they played in.
Sure, man.
They look like they belonged there, and it's just unfortunate they didn't get the results. Should have started Guerrero the first damn game.
Wasn't he in steroid trouble though? He was the guy, right?
He
Who
was the
popped?
guy, but
Yeah,
I
thank
think
you, Tom.
that's-
So all of a sudden now, like you're happy with the steroid guys. Meanwhile, you're talking about everyone takes steroids.
Well,
blah,
everyone
blah, blah.
already does it,
Come on,
so you
brother,
might as
why?
well put the
Come
dude
on,
who's
man.
super juiced on it. The coach is like, it's almost as if the coach was like, you know what, we're gonna punish you.
In-team
We're not-
suspension,
Yeah, we're not
yeah.
gonna get out of here, bro.
In-house
Play
suspension.
your best players.
I mean, Peru. If France had even a slight, just a sliver of Peru's passion, they would be so scary. The
For
way
sure.
they run down the ball, and then again, I think if Peru was in a different group, I think there's a chance that if they were in Group A with Uruguay, Russia, those, and Egypt and Saudi Arabia, there's a chance that Peru gets through.
Dude, probably not.
Really?
Probably not.
I don't know, dude, because they played extremely
Bro,
well.
those first 10 minutes against, or 15 minutes against Denmark, bro. Denmark weathered that storm. But that in itself, like Huss is saying, man, you catch, Saudi Arabia with a wave like that. You catch other teams with a wave like that. You get lucky, a goal goes in. And these guys, like we said, work rate is there. So you're going to have to climb to fight back. I don't know how Denmark, I mean, I know how with Eriksson, but like, they were so lucky to beat Peru, man.
Peru
It was
and
just-
Uruguay would have been a great matchup to watch.
Yeah.
Actually,
that's
Peru versus Russia would have been fun to watch.
Yeah, that would have been good too.
What
But
I gotta say this though about France, and I never thought I'd say this, but Olivier Giroud may be the most pivotal part of this French
Dude.
national team. They
What's his-
play completely differently when he's on the pitch.
what's his ranking in FIFA?
Oh my
dude?
God,
You're
he's
shocked.
87.
Deserves it
Get
for the
outta
World Cup
here.
version. He
Like,
deserves it,
Bruh,
man. This
honestly,
guy's
when they can't they don't play the same when he's not on the pitch. They try cross it into the box, it doesn't work. Mbappe's too
Who do you
short.
take? Diego Costa, Olivier Giroud.
I'll take Diego Costa.
No, but it's the
that's
same
not-
person.
but
It's the
it-
same person.
But
Spain
but
doesn't use him.
I think
We
Costa
saw-
has better skills in a way.
Look, he might, but it's the same person in that
It's a
you don't
target forward.
always have to knock the ball around in your midfield and wait for a run behind. You can give it to him, hold it up, bring everyone up, get everyone involved. Or sometimes when he feels like a Giroud, every once in a while he'll turn someone.
He's a handful.
and have a shot. He's a
For center
handful.
backs,
You
he's
gotta
a handful,
factor.
man. Mbappe's gonna make his runs out wide. He'll
Yep.
try to get him behind, but it's if you can read, when a defender drops his head and he's going to hit it over the top, then there's a good chance you can shut him down. Giroud, he's tough
Dude.
in the box. He gets little flicks. He can win it in the air. He can
All
also
over,
shoot. I mean,
Dude, the most underrated, specialist position right now is that post-up forward. Because we've gotten to a world where everyone has to be quick, fast, moving, dribble, get in behind. This post-up player, man. And I know Chelsea probably needs someone to back Giroud up. I don't think he can go 38 games and win a trophy with Giroud. As much as I rate him, just that system is too, it's too blue-collar. You can go, 28
I think
games.
Germany's going through the same thing with Timo Werner.
For sure.
And he's another young,
miss
fast
Klose.
center forward. Yeah, and they have Mario Gomez on the bench. And they're completely different when they play with that big target center forward.
Because, like you said, the two center backs now have an occupation, and it's not good enough to just put one center back on him. The
Nope.
other one has to be at least 3 yards away,
And that
real
opens
close.
up space for the wingers, the attacking midfielders to make
Sane.
their runs. Yeah, well, I still hope they lose.
I think France only had 3 shots in the second half. I'm looking at who scored right now, and I think their first shot came in the 81st minute. I mean, for a while there, Peru dominated
Dude.
that second half.
I think
and I
Pe-
was actually rooting for them, even though I had Lloris in net for fantasy and I had Dembele on the. I was hoping for Peru to get that.
Yeah. Dude, there were 2 teams in this World Cup that are knocked out unjustly, and we'll get into the other one, but that other team is Morocco. 2 teams that took a weird nap / didn't get a result in that match day 1.
You're forgetting one, actually. Iran.
Look, Iran.
They
Dude,
could have knocked out Portugal. We'll get into it.
Forgetting another one, Iceland.
There's a lot. This was the World Cup of
Please.
sleepers.
Yeah, it was.
100%.
It for sure was, man. But yeah, man, France sits pretty on top with 6 points going into match day 3. Let's get into Denmark, Australia, then we'll discuss the implications of match day 3 for this Group C. That game ends 1-1. My Socceroos staying alive, dude. I had them going through second in this group. They're currently sitting on 1 point, though, with Denmark sitting on 4, so they desperately need a win next game, man.
What's up with your boy Rogic?
Dude,
What's up?
he's trying to make other players look good. That's what it comes down to. He's trying to get everyone else involved. He doesn't want to take over. It'd be rude and selfish of him, too, so he's letting guys like Miles Jedinak take PKs.
Man, Stays getting subbed out.
Yeah, he does. No, he can't finish 90. Even at Celtic, he can't really finish 90. He doesn't start most of the games. I don't know what happened. I think it's just age or his legs just running out on him, but he's still my boy, man. I still love that dude so much.
If Denmark has any hope, it's through Christian Eriksen. I mean, this guy has to carry the team. I'd like to see Kasper Dolberg play a little bit more. I think he's a little bit more dynamic, but Jorgensen or Jorgensen gets Jorgensen gets himself an assist this game. So it's going to be tough for him to break into this lineup. And like you were saying, Jedinak, man, that's a hell of a beard, isn't it?
That's badass. He should be on Iceland with that beard, dude.
Dude's got that
If
epic
Australia
beard
gets
there.
knocked out, he should transfer over to Iceland.
And you know what? Australia just getting 1 point in this group, I was impressed. And now they got a couple. And Jedinak, oh my goodness, you have legitimate fantasy points. If you picked him up,
Yeah.
wow,
He's
bold choice, but it worked out obviously.
He's like the Milijovic of
Yes.
Australia,
Yes,
bro.
you're
That's
right.
what he is.
Palace's Milijovic. But yeah, man, Dolberg, promising kid. He's got plenty of time. He's got plenty of World Cups in him. 20 years old, he's a kid. But I too was looking forward to seeing him on this big stage. He's got a lot of rumors circling him and stuff for making moves. So, but
It's good,
unfortunately,
man.
like you said, probably won't come in. Maybe some bum time late in the game if they're winning comfortably. But we're getting to the knockout stages of the World Cup. There's no more bum time, dude.
Nah, man. You got to play your big dogs. And
That's it.
for me, Moy on the other side of the midfield.
Aaron.
Australia's best player here. He's
sure.
a Huddersfield guy. used to seeing him in the EPL for this whole year. I think he's been playing pretty well. He's had a pretty decent World Cup. Would like to see a little bit more end product from him, but it is difficult, in the Aussie team that he's in right now.
So, I mean, right now, Peru, they're out. Depends on... Let's see how they go against Australia, because if Australia get a win with their 1 point, they have a chance of staying in.
Yeah, for sure. So, goal difference, France obviously is on top with 6. They're automatically through. It's just a matter of which position. Denmark is on 4 points, Australia on 1, Peru on 0, eliminated. But we saw teams playing spoilers before. Teams aren't going out weak. We saw Morocco against Spain, almost caused a mess for Spain. But so Australia plays Peru. I don't think Peru's going to go out,
with another L?
Yeah, at least they're going to fight, So maybe Australia will somehow find it. But Australia is basically 2 goals behind Denmark on goal difference. So they would need to beat Peru by 2 goals just to tie Denmark and hope Denmark loses.
France is in a great position here. They can rest legs. They can rest midfield. I know Conte can run forever, but there's a great chance right here just to give him a little bit of a break so that the next knockout stage game he can actually go.
But at the same time, if they lose to Denmark, they lose the top spot.
Yes.
That is true.
So,
they're going to have to balance it.
But again, if you look at the French substitutes, they have a full 12
they could have 2
everybody.
teams, yeah.
Everybody on that roster for France is legitimate. So if you want to take out somebody, let's say you put Mendy in. Okay, cool. You put Fekir in. Cool.
Yeah,
you put
Dembele
in. Cool. I mean, you have all these guys that everyone, top to bottom, is not a weak link.
Absolutely, man. And that's what I'm saying. You could quote-unquote rest players. You could even rest Griezmann and just leave Giroud and Mbappe up there to figure it out. They're more than capable.
Yeah.
But on the other side, they're trying to avoid in Group D, Croatia, Nigeria, Iceland, and Argentina. Man.
Argentina at the bottom of this group.
Argentina getting worked and twerked. I'm sure you guys have read articles. I'm sure you've over 100 times played that Modric Schürrle on replay. I'm sure you've seen the messy memes out there. But, man, let's get into this game real quick, dude. Croatia, a team often slept on in most World Cups. I think they've missed the last 2 World Cups. But this midfield, man, we have a Madrid guy and we have a Barcelona guy. And the older I get, man, I know it's a pretty obvious statement for some. But the more I realize how important that center mid is.
That's
and having watched... Yeah, and having watched Man United this whole season or this past season, that's where we were lacking, man. That center mid being able to break that first wave of attack either with a pass or a quick turn or a little flick. Rakitic and Modric, man, absolutely brilliant.
We said in the last podcast it would be important for Rakitic to actually be in front of Modric and Modric to sit in behind. Modric, the amount of defensive work this guy put in this game. He's a complete midfielder. He does it all. He's the best center midfielder in the world for me.
So this is going to be kind of like a little tangent. First things first, I want to talk about bad manager, bad team. We really have to discuss that because some people say it's for Argentina.
Yep.
That's the only team I'm talking about right now because Croatia's doing great. I think everyone knows how much I love Modric and Rakitic. Those guys are stellar. But right now, the focus point is Argentina. Is it the team? Is it the manager? Because everyone knows on paper this is one of the most talented offensive teams. And guess what? They also have defensive talent.
Champion in defense.
They have Rojo, they have Otamendi, they have Caballero, who's not great, but that was a bad mistake.
Okay, what are you going to do? What is the coach going to do with the stupid-ass error like that?
So that's what I'm saying, where we really have to discuss, is it the team or the manager?
I think it's the manager, not for his tactics, but this team's not behind him. So articles have come out this week saying the stars of Argentina will pick the starting lineup for the next game, for match day 3. That is
what?
So yeah. Look, Argentina.
We're gonna take votes, guys.
The Argentine FA had to come out and did a press conference to basically say they're behind the manager because the rumors of the manager being fired before match day 3 were absolutely blazing everywhere. That goes to show you that this dude does not have the locker room. So tactics aside, I'm not blaming his tactics. Like Tom said, that mistake by Caballero kind of opened the gates on everything, but for him not to have this team behind him is partly his fault. You can blame Messi.
No, you know what the issue is? I don't think he has Messi behind him. Because if you look at like the halftime, how they came out, right? So Croatia scored in the 53rd minute of this game. And up until then, it was a back and forth game, but Croatia was, for the most part, actually the more dangerous team.
All over.
So they come out from the halftime. Messi's shoulders are kind of slumped. You'd think that there'd be a passionate speech there. Come on, guys, we can do this.
This must have been a shitty speech.
You get that. You look at your leader. You look to him to kind of be up, his morale to be boosting the other guys around, and it just wasn't the case. So for me, Huss, to answer your question, I think it's more so the manager. Although this Argentine midfield,
garbage,
is the weakest part of their team.
So after these couple questions, I'm going to really get into what my point is. But CR7, what is his best position right now in his life?
Center forward.
9.
What position is he playing for Portugal?
Center forward.
9.
What is Messi's best position right now in his lifetime?
Attacking
10.
midfield.
10, yeah.
/ underneath another
See, that's where I
striker.
disagree. I still think he's best on the right, cutting in. I really do. And where does he play for Argentina? He plays in the midfield. He's playing too far away. On the 2 games in a row that at least once, it was 2 games ago that on the heat map, he was literally the center of the pitch. And then the second one, he was about 10 yards forward. He is way too far away from goal. So when it comes down to...
Who's that on, though?
Well, this is where
to me, that's on Messi.
This is where I'm going to get into it.
Because, look,
Messi-
Messi's given free reign to go wherever he wants.
But maybe not. Maybe that's why he's not getting along with the manager. Maybe the manager's giving him too much instruction and he wants that freedom that he gets at Barcelona. There's a reason why they're beefing. It's not because of Messi's lack of talent.
So here's the reason, I think. Let's look at their formation right now. They have a 3-4-2-1. Messi's one of the two. He has come back a lot. I'm thinking that they should be a 4-3-3, or even Croatia, they had a 4-1-4-1. That would work. But I'm really looking at a 4-2-2-2. So it's basically a So it's basically a 4-4-2, but those 2 outside midfielders are moving forward. So it's almost like a little circle. With that, so we're going to have the normal outside backs that they normally have. And then they have Otamendi and Rojo coming in the center mids. Then in the middle, you have Mascherano. Because he's older, he won't be able to run. He's going to hang back more. You have Banega going forward more and being that central, almost being a forward defensive midfielder. And then the outside backs, they're allowed to go up much more and overlap because you have 3 people back, almost like in the Pep system where you have the 2 center backs, they separate, and then you have the defensive midfielder, which would be Mascherano, who plays center back as well. Will not so much slide in between, but he'll be right there to help him out. In the the second set of 2, you'll have Dybala and then Messi. Messi be more on the right, and then you have Dybala on the left. Then up front, we have Kun Aguero and Higuain. That front 4 right there, those are superstars.
Dude.
If you have a superstar in your team, you have to get them on the field. Now with those, the second set of 2s with Messi and Dybala, with the outside backs running in, they'll have a chance to go outside or cut in and then play with Higuain and 1-2s everywhere.
That was the biggest mistake this manager / team made, and maybe to get on Messi's good side, that's why he made it. Dybala should have started from day one. I don't care who Meza is. Dude, you know Dybala. And the problem is, Messi, once you mark him out of the game, this team has no creativity in midfield, like Tom was saying. So, yes, there are stories out there that Messi and Dybala don't get along. They can't play together. Messi has complained about Dybala even in qualifiers.
Yeah.
You have to somehow convince Messi that you need this dude. When Dybala came on for the first time in a game and a half, all of a sudden there's creativity. Why? Because you can't mark Messi and then just hope, that's it. And as much as I love Aguero, he can't drop deep and create stuff. He can drop deep and, touch the ball, get some movement going.
He's not a passer.
He's not a passer. He's a hunter. And you want him staying high. You don't want Aguero dropping deep. You get Dybala and Messi. For the love of the country, you guys have to come together and figure this out.
I agree with both of you. I agree with Hussey that the shape has to change. I don't love the 3-4-3 as a formation. And I agree with Tiki in that you have to play your best players. That's where, to me, Sampaoli has got it wrong. His team selection has been off. He not playing Dybala has been an issue. Di Maria as well, leaving him off this game, that was a very questionable thing for me. So I agree. I think they do need to change the shape, but for me, it's more so team selection. You have to pick the right players at the right time. But there's so much. This Argentine team is top heavy, and that's the issue. Is we look at these stars, we look at these. Oh yeah, they got Higuain and Aguero. Okay, that's fine. Those are all attackers. Your defenders are decent. Your midfield is shit. But it's at the end of the day, you look at Croatia's organization.
Yeah.
How they're able to sit back and then counterattack. Argentina cannot deal with the counterattack to save their life. And when you have Caballero, they got unfortunate. Their starting goalkeeper, who's the Man U second, Romero. Romero got injured, so that really screwed him over.
Dude, and the funny thing about Romero, when he got injured, he said, I'm injured, but I'm okay. Like, just bring me to the World Cup. The manager, Sampaoli, chose to leave him off the 23-man roster, and I think he came out in the news saying he would have been healthy to play against Croatia.
Player selection.
So Messi, during the game, yes, he's away from the net. That's one big mistake. Another reason why he's not scoring goals is because he's not just single covered. He's double covered and triple covered. Yeah. How do you get him away from that? You push him out wide and you go 1v1 like he does at Barcelona.
They're still going to triple team him. Doesn't matter.
That's fine. That's fine though.
You're like Neymar that opens the room up for Coutinho / Dybala.
Yeah. You're bringing two extra plays out from
wide.
The midfield.
It opens the midfield.
Not only that, if they do single cover, and let's say they switch the fields quickly, he can go against one person, and then the second person comes late. So Messi has a full head of steam going forward, full speed. Where in the middle, he'll go in between.
Drift in the middle. Look at Messi's game now. It's even if he starts on the right, he'll drift to the middle.
I understand.
That's what he does. So for me, it was a savvy midfield. He's playing with Rakitic, who trains with them every day at Barcelona. He knows he's going left, no matter what. Force him right. Then you're playing with Luka Modric as well, who plays against him in Clásicos. Who he's been playing against Messi. He has the work rate. He has the smarts. To me, the midfield won this battle. I agree with you, Huss. There needs to be a change of shape, a change of tactics. But Messi will always drift towards the middle. Yes, that's where he's best.
That's true. I would let him know. Cut in further down the field. Also, when you said, yeah, that's
true. Telling Messi how to attack now?
Well, you're the manager. You have to try to do something. But when you said at Barcelona, one of the big reasons why he's drifting more towards the middle at Barcelona is because they don't have that other wide guy now. They switched their form to almost do like
Coutinho.
Dembele was hurt. Coutinho came in January. And he's not a true out and out winger.
Up too deep. But that's Messi's issue. He's not staying high enough.
I think it's both.
It is both.
Yeah, but when Neymar left, he didn't have that counterpart on the other side. Where if you double team Messi all the time, then you have Neymar open on the other side. You don't want that. So then when Dembele went injured, they almost switched to a 2-forward system with him and Suarez.
Yeah, they did. I think he's very good at that.
But if you bring in Neymar again, they're going back to spreading wide, letting him cut it in.
Nah,
I think that's where the most success is.
Messi's strength is in the middle. I think we disagree here that
that's where he ends.
In his best position. His best position is underneath the center forward.
Yeah, it's 10.
It's underneath the center forward, whether it's in that attacking midfield or second striker.
Yeah, as ages come, man. And the thing with Messi that makes him different from Ronaldo is that he can work in tight spaces. You want that guy in midfield because he can pass, dribble, or shoot. He's a triple threat. Ronaldo in the middle in tight spaces, he'll dribble, but it's not going to be dribble and then through ball. It's not going to be this vision. So you want Messi inside now, and that's why they bought Dembele and Coutinho. And I understand Dembele was hurt, but they bought two guys who play out wide, Suarez in the middle, Messi under him. And that's why when Dembele went out, they didn't move Messi out wide. They stuck him right next to Suarez, his best friend.
Even if they start Messi on the right, they'll rotate out where Messi drifts in the middle, and that guy will drift out.
That's fine. He doesn't have the legs to be driving at guys out wide. Well, he has the legs, but I don't think he wants to play that position anymore where he's standing out wide, waiting for the ball patiently. He wants to be involved in every build-up, especially since Xavi and Iniesta are old. So he feels that need to step into that midfield and
freedom. Messi, no coach tells Messi where to go. He just play. Look, once you get in that final third, just be Messi. That's what they tell him.
Has he had real success at Argentina yet?
Dude, he scored a hat trick to qualify for them. So he's had some success.
That's a game here and there. That's obviously going to come through, but consistency it has to be there. And he's always playing in the middle for Argentina. He needs to be more out wide and cutting in.
Playing in the middle, he got to 2 finals, dude, against Chile, and they lost. You know what I mean? So this Argentina team, we can say they're bad, blah, blah, blah. In this World Cup, they're bad, but there are a lot of good teams that are bad. They just haven't had the fortune of having Messi come through. In this World Cup, Messi's bad. But historically for Argentina, has he been as influential as he is for Barcelona? Hell no, I'll admit that. But has it been this terrible Messi thing? And I'm a Ronaldo guy. I love seeing Messi suffer, but it's really not that bad.
The guy's got to step up.
He's got to step up.
That's what it is to me. Is the people around him as well have to step up. But you have an old ass Mascherano, Enzo Perez, who's a good player, but he's not world class by any means. Eva Banega, another old midfield. Lucas Biglia.
Look at the work rate though.
It's trash.
Banega's work rate throughout the year, he was outstanding throughout the year.
A lot of players work hard. A lot of players.
I understand that, but Banega, I think if he's pushed in with Mascherano, and then also stays in front of him as a secondary, the first line of defensive midfielders, I think he can do enough work rate to make Mascherano's life easier. And then if we push the outside backs more forward, if they do the 4-2-2-2, it would allow a good balance between defense, midfield, and offense.
Even within your 4-2-2, there's no width within that, so it's kind of like
that's why the outside backs can go.
Then it's kind of contradicting your Messi point of having
the Messi
start out
on the right. If we're really going to get into, so the right back wouldn't go all the time. They would allow him to drift more wide. They would push up and help more in midfield.
Formation.
Yes, and then the left outside back would do a lot more.
And who are these outside backs who are just like so brilliant?
They don't have shit.
That's another reason why he's playing three center backs, because Otamendi, Rojo's a center back who would be disguised.
Mr. Braces?
And Slotty can
Mercado's
also play
nice.
there, but I mean, look at the team, bro. It's not a very strong Argentine defense nor midfield.
But even still, Tom, you have a team like Uruguay, which their backline outside of Godin, here you could argue outside of Otamendi, there's nothing around him. But even them, they stay defensively organized. I think, again, it comes
because
to that
they have
midfield.
a top three center back in the world who's the captain.
Fair enough, but like,
and don't sleep on their goalkeeper as well. Fernando Muslera is a beast.
For sure, man, for sure. But I think it's still Mascherano and the guy next to him, Perez. They just lose the midfield battle. They've lost it before.
They have.
Once you lose that midfield battle, bro, you can't generate offense, which is why Messi has to drop deep to get the ball, because you can't release him. And you can't defend because you're getting broken one-on-one.
The transition
so your defenders
is
get so exposed. That's why guys like Jones were winning the ball with his head or his face. You know, guys like Smalling were getting exposed because that midfield, if Matic wasn't covering, it was off to the races.
And another big question I have is whether we can get these offensive players. Like I said, you had the 4 world-class players. Will they come back and drop and play a little bit more defense?
Not Messi.
That's the thing. Where
Not Messi.
If we do play
Not
all
anymore.
4, someone has to come back.
Dybala would, because he's young.
Well,
Dybala would. I don't know if he'd be helpful, because that's not really his strength.
It's not.
But he would come back and be a body, but that's not good enough.
He'll work hard, but
yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
But still, like, defensively, he's a liability because of his size. I mean, okay, you can be as feisty as you want to be, but if that's not a natural part of
but
your
if they're not willing, you can't have all 4 on the field.
That's why he doesn't.
Yeah,
that's why he doesn't play him. But
top heavy.
But again, just play a striker, be it Aguero, Higuain, play Dybala, and play Messi. It's gonna take the eyes off Messi. If you mark Messi out of the game, there's no one who's gonna play a through ball on this team.
They should play 4-3-3. They need 3 central midfielders.
That's
in
it.
the middle because they just keep losing.
That's it. And Dybala be that central mid, and you hope he comes back as a body. Kind of like we're saying Pogba should be that 10. You play the 4-3-3. You can still have Pogba, quote-unquote, left center mid, but we all know on offense he drifts into that 10 spot and has less responsibility to come back. He has to come back as a body, but he's not that first line of breaking up counters. That would be Matic or whatever. And in this case, that would be Mascherano and Perez.
Might be too late, but Argentina does still have a chance, man.
So the next biggest point that I have, minus the goals, because the goals were outstanding, should Otamendi have any repercussions for what he did to Rakitic, where he hit the ball right into him? The ball was rolling, and then he lined up and drove the ball in.
The referee missed it. If there were to be repercussions, it was during the game when he should have been given a red card.
Okay.
The referee didn't.
Because we all know that's a no-no. No matter, even if you're losing, frustrated, you don't go for.
Look, for me,
because if that goes into his face, he has real problems.
For me, yes, that's a red card. I don't see that as that bad in that sometimes I like to see a bit of evil, a bit of devil. Like a guy like Suarez, you know he's never going to go out like a bitch. Do I promote biting players? No, I don't think you should. But I don't think that's the worst thing to have. The worst thing to have is just lying there and just taking it. Should he have done that? No. Should it have been a red card? 100%.
It wasn't even the kick with the ball. He actually physically kicked him. That's where, me...
He kicked the ball and followed through
and kicked him. And that follow-through, for me, is the more severe part because that's just reckless.
That's fire.
I've seen it before. You get the ball kicked into a guy. To me, that's a yellow card.
Yeah.
That's not
that was a red card, 100%.
Because of the extra follow-through where the foot
red.
made contact with his body, that to me
what I'm saying is I'm not mad about it. Like, it should have been a red.
I just think it gets dirty shit, but you need that as a center back.
That's what I'm saying. Ramos is out there breaking people's shoulders.
If you don't have that in you, son, you're not about this.
Yeah, I don't see it as a bad quality. It should have been a red.
I sort of like... I like the Mo Salah with Ramos more than I saw that. When someone's on the ground,
for
and you
sure.
see the ball rolling by their head,
Yeah,
everyone
for
knows
sure.
you have a clean shot at the face.
Yeah, yeah.
If he connects and hits his chin, his face, he could break his skull.
Yeah, for sure.
He could hurt his neck, anything like that. But what does Croatia do? They come back and puts one more past them, just a little cherry on top. Thank you very much. You want to hit me? I'm going to score on you.
Kovacic.
Have a nice day.
Kovacic, unselfish, young kid. Real Madrid came out today and said this kid's not for sale, man. Everyone now wants this kid. I mean, everyone's wanted him for a while, but he's
Liverpool so close to getting him, but then Real Madrid out of nowhere.
Yeah,
No, because Liverpool didn't want to go like 28 mil for him or something. It was something ridiculous. It's like, why not?
No, I mean, this kid is perfect. You got Luka Modric, who's sort of fading out. Not fading out because this guy's still balling, but he's 32 years old.
He won't be doing it forever.
You need a succession plan for Real Madrid, and who better than a Croatian, a guy who lives under Modric's shadow, to come in and take over. I'm not sitting here saying he plays the same way, blah, 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 the same way. But, man, he's a talent, and why not? If you can put someone of studly ability, like, someone willing to do the dirty work.
Now
like
Kovacic
Paulinho.
is just going to have patience with sitting on the bench. Because
Real Madrid has 2 more seasons.
That's a lot of patience because he's been doing it already for 2.5 seasons.
That's what I'm saying. Like, so what's
So
one
that's
more
full-
season, knowing that Real Madrid wants you, and I think he
When
will,
you-
man.
when
He's
you
been quietly riding that bench. There's no news about him coming out and stomping his feet.
No, but he's 24 years old, so you're telling me he needs to wait 2 more years? That's
No,
20.
one.
Okay.
One. Next season he'll be
25 years.
25.
And who's to say? What if Modric keeps going the way he is up until
Look,
34?
as far as he will
36.
keep going, but at some point it's going to be an Iniesta situation where he just doesn't finish games. You know what I mean? And he just doesn't start all the games.
My question is, is that enough for Kovacic to be coming in off the bench?
Based on history, I think it is, but I don't know the future.
Things
Personally,
change
for
real quick,
you,
man.
it wouldn't be. We
No,
know
no,
that.
I'm just saying. I'm just asking a question.
Yeah.
I don't know. If you're asking me, if I'm 24, 25 years old, I'm entering my prime. I
At
hear
Real
Liverpool
Madrid.
knocking at the door. I hear all these other big
At Real
clubs.
Madrid, who won 3 Champions Leagues.
Okay, but what part did I have to play in that? Just training and a
But they're
couple of
telling
games.
you your time is coming. You finally waited long enough in line. Are you going to leave
Look,
the
Look,
line?
man.
He already
Isco's
came out.
going through the same thing.
He already came out and said he doesn't want to play there.
doesn't.
He said he wants out. He wants to play somewhere and actually have full on playing time. I agree with him, but for Croatia, I think they know this is probably their last hurrah with their big guys because Rakitic is 30, Modric is 32, Mandzukic is 32, Perisic is 29. Look, this is Croatia's golden era, shall we say? Even look, they have Brozovic, from Inter. He's 25, and Kovacic is young, obviously. So those two taking the ranks over from Modric and Rakitic is
not bad.
that's really nice.
It's not bad.
But Croatia's not going to disappear. But imagine if Pulisic went for Croatia instead of the U.S. He'd be on the bench waiting with Kovacic.
Yeah.
That'd be the next
Or
movement.
he'd be starting over Rebic. You know what I mean?
True.
In some games, because he plays that winger. He's got a bit of speed about him. Perisic, obviously, this is his last World Cup, most likely.
Well,
just even based on his productivity.
agree
there's
that
just
Christian-
nothing from him?
You think Christian should have said no to U.S. and went with Croatia
No,
then?
man, I believe Christian should have done what he wanted to do, and
Okay.
clearly was playing for the U.S. Like,
He's playing for the U.S. right now. For me,
Beca-
go to
and
where
he's
you're
that
going to get
dude.
playing time.
And he's that dude
Yeah.
for the U.S.
Yeah, but at the same time, we had that same thing happen. Was it like 8 years ago now with Rossi from New Jersey? He went
to Italy.
He went to Italy, made the team, then got hurt, then didn't make the team, and they're like, "Oh, if you went to the U.S., you'd still be starting, you'd be doing that."
Yeah.
You can't hate someone for
Yeah, man.
wanting to go away from the U.S. and going for Italy or Croatia because right now,
Or any team. You know, the Boateng brothers, one chose Germany, the other chose Ghana. Like, for us
one
to
would have
sit
made
there
Germany,
and
one
judge-
would have.
Yeah, you're probably
That's
right.
my point. Go to where you're going to play. Go to where Pulisic was going to play right now for the U.S. He's the main dude. At Croatia, Piazza, who's at Juventus, isn't starting for Croatia.
Yeah,
So who's to say that Pulisic would have started
I just
there?
say go with your heart. You know what I mean? Like, just go with your heart, because at the end of the day, you have to live with it. So,
Yeah.
like, it's not always footballing reasons you make these decisions. You know, it's a national team thing. Club thing, I'm with you, Tom. Go where you're going to play. Country, I sort of back off, and there's a lot more emotion involved. It's not just...
There is, but you look at a guy like Diego Costa, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm not playing at Brazil."
He would have let in 2014, and he could have done work for him. He could have been a hero. They took Joe And
They
who
did.
was the other guy? He could have been a national team hero.
Zaha.
And they needed that fire in that 7-1 game. You needed someone up there
I
throwing
agree with you.
elbows.
I agree with you.
And he chose the easy way because Spain needed
he
number
knew.
9.
Yeah.
Zaha going to
But
Ivory
again,
Coast.
I don't judge him.
Rather than
Zaha
England.
going Ivory Coast. He could have played for both.
Yeah, but he's like,
But
I
he's-
want to go where I'm gonna play, and maybe
And
there's,
look
there's
at him,
more.
he'll never see a World
There's-
Cup.
there's
You know what I
more-
mean?
maybe
He could have been part of the
That's not true
squad.
that he won't ever see one.
No, look, not ever. But what I'm saying is it's a lot harder for African teams than England.
It is, and look, it could have been an emotional decision behind it as well.
For
Maybe he
sure,
could have
that's
been
what I'm
like,
saying.
You know what?
For sure.
Want to make
Absolutely.
my parents proud or whatever it was.
For sure, man. I'll never judge a guy for whatever country he picks, man. We're sitting here, America and South African. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We weren't blessed enough to make that choice, but like, God, it'd be a tough choice to make, man. It would be a heartbreaking choice to make. But this group, Croatia sitting on top after 2 match days with 6 points. Nigeria with 3. Iceland with 1. Argentina with 1. Let's get into that Nigeria-Iceland game, man. I'm so proud of these Super Eagles. They heard us talking shit, specifically me talking shit.
Love the
Talking
squad.
about the not Super Eagles. Man, they came out
Called out the
starving.
manager. Called out the manager for not having the balls to drop Mikel and play him at the 6. He changed up the shape, puts Mikel at that holding mid spot,
Brilliant.
where he should be. Everything flows from there. Wilfred and Didi in the middle as well had a great game. Lots
Dude,
of
also-
energy from him.
Also benched Iwobi. You know what I mean? Like Iwobi
Which was the
is
right
that
call.
prospect. But yes, he's not performing. He didn't do so well for Arsenal this year.
Igalo as
Bench
well.
him.
I didn't like the Igalo
Yeah,
start.
Igalo's too stiff.
Yeah.
Igalo reminds me of a European forward. I don't know what it is, but like with
think he's
a
got
guy
this-
like Iheanacho and
He's a
Musa,
post-up
there's
forward.
That, yeah,
Give me the ball. I'm going to turn, maybe shoot it.
Yeah, I
This
think he's
post
got
up-
the smoothness. It's just that, Brad, you coming from China. Like,
That too.
that to me was the main thing. It was like, and look, China, it's just not the most competitive, strong league compared
sure.
to where these other guys are playing.
Yeah, Musa's
right?
in England. Iheanacho's in England. Both of them at Leicester, actually.
And if you have a guy like Yannick Carrasco in Belgium who was in China, okay, his talent demands that he plays there, or even
sure.
that void that they may have at that left wing back spot for Belgium demands that he can start for them. Igalo, I don't think he's so good that he's an automatic start.
For sure.
And I thought the coach did a great job here starting Ahmed Musa up top with Kelechi and Nacho. Musa
What an announcement.
taking over, man.
Now,
Taking over.
Musa, you're 25 years old. You just got put on loan to Moscow from Leicester. Do you go back to Leicester with open arms
That was
saying,
last
please take...
season, right?
No, this past season. Or do you say, you know
yeah,
what?
I mean, like last year. Like
Yeah.
right now, he's back on Leicester.
Yeah, no,
Like
he's
today.
he just got
Okay,
loaned
cool,
out last
cool,
year.
cool.
But now he's coming back to Leicester. Does he stay with Leicester, or does he make a stink? Well, look, I want out because you didn't believe in me.
Go back to
I'm doing
CSKA, bro.
Dude, go anywhere. It doesn't have to be. I would even say maybe La Liga. Like,
This
go wherever
movement-
you're gonna
This
start.
play a movement, man. Making a transfer, guys. I think like, at least for me, I'll speak for myself. Like, I'm used to video games and FIFA, and like, all right, this guy, I just bought him from this club, and now he seamlessly transitions in. It's a change of lifestyle. You're changing. The food is different. The culture is different.
The
where
family,
where
bro.
your children go to school will be different. Your wife's situation is different. Maybe she has a
Sure.
job, and
And
there's
friends.
so many moving parts to transferring. So for him to go from CSK to Leicester now to go to the Liga, like it's obviously nothing in life's guaranteed, but I think transfers are a lot harder than we actually think they are for the player.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. Stay where you are.
I am kind of split on this. I want to
How
say...
did you at CSKA though? You know what I mean? That
Well,
depends.
that's where he made his name. He was doing well for a long time. Now, he wanted the bigger, better, brighter lights. But that's for me. That's where I found out who Musa was at CSKA. He was doing well for them.
See, I'm really split on this for the fact that if I was him, I would be tempted to stay because you can make, obviously, more money in England. If you make a name for yourself at 25, you were still kind of young at 24 when you made that loan. And I would say, talk to the manager. If you can get a promise from him that you're going to start, great. But the problem is, though, it's not the promise. It's the fact that you don't know who's going to start because you don't know who's going to manage Leicester because they're just rotating managers at the
And
moment.
it's such a
That's
weak,
the
it's
problem.
a weak promise, dude. Because if Jamie
Yeah,
Vardy's
dude.
balling, if Shinji Okazaki comes in and all of a sudden he's banging and
Oh,
goes,
Iheanacho as well.
manager's gonna be like, look, man, I know I made that
Yeah, guys.
promise, but this guy's
Guys,
scoring
this-
every week.
There's
I
a
can't.
competitive field, man. Like I was talking to Huss before the show. Like, yeah, when you're signing a big name, you can say, okay, we promise we're gonna start you the first, few games. You have a starting role. But man, if there's a baller behind you, this is business, dude. Especially at a club like Leicester, where you said there's a revolving door. You think this guy's gonna be like, well, his contract said he's gonna start. You see it in FIFA all the time in video games where the guy's like, yo, this is not what you promised me in my contract. And you're like, dude, that sucks because there's just someone better than you. That comes from real life.
I'll get you in every fourth game.
Look, I think Musa, I don't know. To Tom's point, yeah, I hear you, CSKA, blah, blah, blah. But to Huss's point, there's money, there's fame, there's glory. So you got to decide. Yeah. You got to decide, are you going to go safe and be that big fish in that little pond and your family's happy and you're scoring 20, 30 goals a season? Or are you going to come to the EPL and fight, you know? And as long as Leicester, the manager, sits there and says, I'm going to give you a fair shot. Like, you're not, I don't look down on you or I don't underrate your skills. You got to fight like everyone else. I think Musa can fight. Okazaki, I think, is fading to black.
But he was not passing to his Leicester teammate in that goal. He rounds.
No.
He rounds the
dude,
goal.
Dude, Iheanacho was like, right here.
Give it to my feet.
Okay, well,
like, nah,
let's talk about him for a moment. Let's
Let's
switch it up real quick. If you're Leicester, who do you keep?
Both.
Both? What if
Both.
You have to get rid of one? Who do you keep, Musa or Iheanacho?
You know me.
I'm keeping
Iheanacho.
I don't know because
Musa's
since
almost ready. He's 25. He's almost ready.
Since Iheanacho has left City, he has done. Wait for it.
Here we go.
Nothing.
That's all right. You know what happened though? He did get injured. He gave him that start. He did fuck all with it.
What's he doing at the World Cup?
He got injured.
Dude, and he's 21.
And then he came back from injury, and he lost his place to Shinji Okazaki, who, by the way, scores 50 goals for Japan. So he's no slouch, Shinji Okazaki.
And I'm not saying sell. I'm just saying if you're gonna put out one on loan,
dude,
I'd say put Iheanacho on loan.
No, you don't loan out Musa. He's 25, dude. What are you doing loaning
That's
out
what I'm saying.
You're hoping at 27 he's gonna come ready? No. Look, you put us in this position to choose. I'm saying you keep both these guys, and if you can keep 3 forwards to 4 forwards competing for 2 positions, that's called depth, man. You guys are so quick to be like, if you're not starting, get them out at like. These players are fighters, man. They're competitors. Yeah. Like, they're only 11 positions. There's a reason why the roster's 23 men, dude. Like, there's only 11 positions. If I'm Leicester, I'm keeping Okazaki, Vardy, Iheanacho, and Musa. And if one of them complains, I loan out Iheanacho because he's 21.
Might be putting you on the spot here, but who's the English quick left midfield black player for Leicester City? He's coming on strong.
Oh, he just went to no, is it Leicester or Everton? Oh,
Leicester.
Damari Gray.
Damari Gray.
There you
go.
So
for Leicester as well, they tend to put Musa more so as a winger than a striker.
Yeah.
So a manager may look at you like, nah, you're not a striker, you're a winger. So for Nigeria, he's playing striker, and that was the right choice
100%.
Because he can score goals. His work
rate. He can lead the line.
And I love forwards who work as hard as Musa because he forces errors. He can create goals out of nothing, almost like Jamie Vardy as
Another one for you. Okazaki and Vardy, or Musa and Iheanacho.
Some games,
definitely
those
gonna
2.
go with Vardy
and
he's the best striker out of all of them.
And who else? Who's
with
with him?
Vardy and Musa.
No, come on. Okazaki! Come on, dude.
Boy, I started feeling it now.
Okazaki's the man. Best player in the world, at least. Top 5.
Bro, let's talk about Iceland here. This was Iceland's first time playing against an African side.
What happened? What happened, you Vikings?
They took that L.
Guys are on this Viking bandwagon, and man, if you listen to the last few episodes, I sound like an Iceland hater. I'm sorry, man. I'm just not swept away by this team. Like, smallest country in the World Cup. First time at the World Cup. This is big boy says. This ain't no European.
Fastest man alive. It's the fastest man alive. Musa. Oh my God. That's what Gunnison was saying.
Dude, this is not the Euros, man. Where you're dealing with countries you're used to. You've been there. You know what they stand for. Nigeria. They have no idea who Nigeria is. Nigeria came in hungry. Again, if Iceland finishes bottom of this group, no one will be surprised, man. No. And I won't fault him for that. Why? Because it's Nigeria, Croatia, and Argentina, dude.
But let's not
say what Iceland does next game, though.
They got heart. Stunt. I'm gonna blacktrack. Yeah. They got heart, man. Iceland can easily ruin someone's day. They killed England.
That's what they do.
They could easily ruin
They could have won
day,
this game. Sigurdsson missed the penalty. They also had other chances. They shouldn't have let certain Nigerian players run through the middle. But again, that's the speed issue. But
dude, Ndidi. Oh my God, Ndidi.
Oh my goodness.
Ndidi, I got him. I mean, there's a lot of FIFA talk, guys. I got him FIFA after like 4 or 5 seasons. This dude can shoot from half.
Yeah.
This dude has a cannon. He's got the work rate. He's at 0.5 time. He might be a 0.1 at this. I mean, a 1.
The 1.1?
He might be a Conte 1.0, bro. I know Idrissa
love
Gana was the 0.5, and he's a beast too. But like Ndidi's, he's got
1.0
the height
as in
as well.
even?
Problem, man. He's young.
Very young.
He's young.
1.0 as in he's even with Conte?
Look, not even, but
Dude,
with Tom's
There's like a 0.7 then.
Okay, 0.75.
0.75.
Conte
I hate this though
0.75.
because the door's still open for Argentina.
Oh.
And honestly, knowing Argentina,
Yeah.
they're about to just run straight through
Oh, yeah.
that door, man.
And they're playing
All the way to the
Nigeria.
finals.
Yeah.
I hope. Look, so the table sits. Just to recap real quick: Croatia 6, Nigeria 3, Iceland 1, Argentina 1. Nigeria plays Argentina. "Quote unquote," a draw will get him through. Not quote unquote, literally a draw will get him through. But we saw it. We'll get into that again. But we saw it with Russia against Uruguay. What happens when you come in flat, trying to calm the game down, playing for that draw, man. Nigeria has to play for this win. Has to try some way, somehow. I know they got 0 goal difference. Croatia has 5 goal difference. They got to some way, somehow put it in their heads they need 6 goals. They need 6 goals mentality-wise, not necessarily tactical-wise. But mentality-wise, don't take your foot off these Argentines' throats.
So
High
difficult,
pressing?
though, man. It's so
High pressing,
difficult.
Not high pressing, but play your game the way you did against Iceland. Play that physical game. Get them into a physical battle.
But you can't really. The coach, I think, is also going to overthink it because he may be thinking, I can't play 3 in the back against Argentina. So now all of a sudden the shape changes.
Look, maybe you could because they play
approach is
3.
different.
The best system to play against a 3 in the back that we found out from Conte is counter him with a 3 in the back, assuming your players know how to play 3 in the back. So if Nigeria is comfortable playing 3 in the back, they're not just changing to counter Argentina. Play with those 3 in the back. I understand it sounds like there's a lot of one-on-ones, but on defense, we all know it turns into 5 at the back.
You know what? Nigeria, just shoot the ball. Against this Argentinian defense and Caballero, you don't know what's going to happen.
Here's a question. Does Caballero start next game? Because he was shaking the first.
Better not, dog.
He was crap in the second.
I don't care who the backup is. He better not. You don't start Caballero. Even the first game, he gave up that
That's what I'm
pathetic
saying.
rebound,
Yeah.
like the deflection in. So
It's 2 rough games for him.
Hold on a second. I
Caballero
got to find out
should
who's
not
the
start.
backup for Argentina right now. Do you know?
It's not Romero.
I
Yeah,
thought
that's-
it was Rulli.
That's-
on the team there.
I'm
Yeah,
trying to figure
but
out where he is.
Argentina and Nigeria have a
Oh.
long history of facing each other in World Cups, man, and
Dude, since 94, they face each other. They've been in the same group, I think, 3 times.
setup.
That's bullshit.
It's a setup.
It's absolute bullshit.
But I believe in the Super Eagles. I want them to win. This isn't even like hate against Messi because I do want to see Messi win a World Cup, but I just don't think Argentina deserve it. That's my thing.
Messi doesn't deserve it either. You know what I mean? Like, I understand, dude. He's a human. How does he deserve it for Argentina? He deserves it for Barcelona. If Barcelona was in the World
That's what
Cup,
I'm
I'd
saying.
be like,
I gotta
no.
look at his entire career.
Doesn't put the team on his shoulders ever, except that one time when he scored the hat trick to get him in. He
What
took a
about-
nap through qualifying.
Dog, but what about when Argentina made it to the finals
And
against
what'd he do?
Germany, man?
And what did he do?
I'm just to say he doesn't deserve it. I
But
think
did
is
he
harsh.
carry? But did he carry Argentina to the finals? No, he was
in his play? Yeah,
He
in
was
his
a
play.
teammate,
No, he was a problem, bro.
dude.
He was a distraction. He was a problem.
was
He
a
didn't
distraction.
he didn't carry
You know
him
who deserves
like
it?
scoring a goal every game.
No fucking deserves
Yeah, I
it.
know you're about to say.
Thank you, bro.
CR7.
He deserves it, man. He
What?
deserves it because he scores when they need him to. He gets hat tricks when they need him to. That's a dude in the Hollywood movie who deserves it. Doesn't drink, doesn't smoke, rarely
Messi
parties.
drinks and smokes.
Look, Messi might
Come
have himself
on, man.
a little glass of vino every once in a while.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
healthy
know.
for the heart.
Yeah, thank you, bro.
That's
And that's
healthy
why
for
he's
the
out
heart.
here taking naps for Argentina, all hungover and
I'm
shit.
not gonna get into the deserve it battle or not. But
Get
So
out of here,
the
Messi.
backup
score a hat trick
goalkeepers-
for your team when it matters.
Backup
He got him
goalkeeper
there.
for Argentina. Armani plays for River Plate. and-
Armani, like
yeah.
Damn,
Ralph?
like Giorgio?
Yeah. Franco Armani.
All right.
And then you got Guzman, who plays for the Tigers in Liga
Tigres,
MX.
man. What are you talking
What?
about, Tigers?
Yeah, that's what I call them.
R.E.S.
My bad.
Tigres.
I've always called them Tigers. I never even noticed.
So American, bro.
I've never even noticed. I just see the first 3 letters. I'm like, I go with it.
Yeah, man. So they don't have backups, but look, this is a time when you send a statement to the team. Again, like I said earlier, articles came out saying the stars, and by stars they probably just mean Messi, is going to choose a starting 11, and it would be so big of him if he chose Dybala to start.
He better, because they need all-out attack. This game, they're better off winning 5-3.
Thank you.
Hey, you know what? It's time to do your job. It's time to be the manager. Get some cojones.
It might be too late for him, bro.
Look,
it might be too late. I think he's lost the locker
What
room.
what if
Here we go.
he started Dybala over Messi?
Nah.
That would be the stupidest thing you could ever do.
Look, Messi, as much shit as he has to start, man. You just
That
have
would
to have him on the
depress
field.
everyone.
Yeah, that would. Although I was saying it in the group text, maybe in qualifying there were 1 or 2 games where you just quote unquote rest him and see how the team performs, take that pressure off.
And he would have
At the World Cup, you cannot do that.
He
You have
will
to
be
play.
fired at halftime.
Yes.
Oh my
Yes.
God!
Yeah.
Imagine if they won though, and got through.
Dude, that would be the most ball and muscle
That
move,
would.
dude.
That would.
CR7 would be smiling.
With his club T-shirt going that tucked in,
See, you got
extra
the
small
you
shirt.
got the V-neck, and,
Dude, he
and then
took
you had
it
the
off into a
jacket.
dark
Yeah.
2-0.
I didn't know he had
Nah.
sleeves. I know somebody had sleeves. Like
That would be like
tatted up
Scooby Doo
sleeves.
stuff
That was
right there,
awesome.
where you just like rip off his face and be CR7.
I mean, he's in a fat suit. That'd be so funny, man. Yeah, but match day 3 is gonna be action packed. Croatia's obviously, not playing for a draw, but a draw would guarantee them first. So I don't see them.
Don't have a good feeling, man. I want the Super Eagles to win.
They're
Shout
not.
out to my boy Tunde.
They're not. Actually, I've been pretty wrong with some of this. I've been pretty
That
wrong
would
with some
really
of these
hurt my
games.
feelings. Argentina, like I've said, I can't stand this team or country.
Gonna squeeze by, man, and you know what? They're gonna end up getting playing against a first place team that was like a shocker that finished in first place, and they
Like
second
Russia.
place. Yeah, like some fugazi like that.
Nah, but no. If they play Group C, so France, Denmark, Australia, so that's who they're
So they would
pinned
have.
against.
So they play France then. If
If they finish second, they play France, assuming France finishes first.
Well, yeah,
They could get
And that's tough for a young French team.
Yeah, it
that's
is.
a young French.
No,
team.
That's
early
that's
days.
tough for
Yeah,
an
that's early
old
days.
Argentinian team.
Oh no, it is. It's more. France would be the favorites, but still, it's a young.
It's tough. Yeah, it's
a
tough for
young
the
French.
And then not only
As long as
that,
they got Conte though, winning that
Ooh.
midfield, that's the difference.
taking
maker.
Messi
Yo,
out of the game, dog. I want to
that's
see
it,
that
dude.
Messi versus
Have
Conte.
that shadow.
I actually want Argentina to go through so they can take on France because Hey, who took on France in the Euros?
No.
Just a little thing adding to this story.
Portugal.
Because CR7 beat. Kind
Well,
of. He was on the
not
bench. He
really,
was
no,
coaching.
yeah.
He was assistant
No,
assistant coach.
didn't
He beat him from the bench,
Yeah.
as you like to say. Look, it would be sick.
Raw, come on, guys.
Hoorah! You can
And those
do it.
players on that team have
Fucking
said that
cheerleader.
actually that did
Nah,
get them
look,
going.
we shit on him, but
Made
it
a psychological
he did,
impact,
man.
for sure.
He definitely affected the
Most
game.
busting
Dude,
time on
I
that.
want to see Africa on Africa, Nigeria on France, bro. That's Africa on Africa, straight up. I'm trying to see that.
better African side.
Group E, we got Brazil. Oh man, these lucky
Love these
bastards.
Samba boys.
Do you love these?
I love these Samba
Dude, they're
boys.
sitting on top with 4 points, tied with the mighty Swiss.
Oh,
Dude,
guess
Swiss
what?
ain't neutral.
Someone
4
else
points.
stepped up.
Dude, Shaqiri taking the shirt off. We call him fat.
Coutinho.
Dude, Coutinho, this is
He
Coutinho's
has been-
World Cup.
That's
Where's
who
Neymar?
stepped up. Neymar's been quiet.
He's been the face.
Neymar's been the superstar.
This is Coutinho's team. No.
You need someone to
There's no
step up.
superstar about him.
Coutinho steps up in his weight.
Dude, Serbia
hurts
with
so
3
much to
points.
watch.
And unfortunately, Costa Rica knocked out for match day 3. So, no help for them.
I think Costa Rica is going to be one of the few teams who just takes all 3 L's.
You think so? Well, they're playing Switzerland, so yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Probably, but
Switzerland
look,
It's quality compared to them.
the heart's there, man. The heart's there. Costa Rica didn't go out like a bunch of bitches. They held
They're about
Brazil to the 90th minute, man. To
No,
the
they did.
92nd minute.
They did.
And it was hard. Obviously, Brazil was total control, total domination. They had the gods against them up until that 92nd minute. Dude, and the Coutinho, just the run. You watch him at the top of the box, just kind of hanging, and all of a sudden he just runs.
You do
And
your
what does this
best.
defender do? What does the guy who's been marking him for 92
Doesn't
minutes
track.
do? Ball
Doesn't
watches.
try. Look, you try to teach kids this. The word is anticipation.
Yes.
We always use as coaches. Anticipate what's going to happen next, and you can't really teach it. You can't really
Experience.
coach it. It's kind of innate.
It's
you
an
have
instinct.
to learn it.
Instinct.
It is an instinct. That's
the
the
word.
word I was looking
That's the
for.
word.
As he runs through,
You have
because
to
even
use your third eye.
Gabi Jesus mistouches it. Right, the ball comes in. And
toe poke
Coutinho's,
through
he's on the jog, so he's already moving.
Dude, as soon as that ball comes like out wide and it's the next play is to Gabi
Boom.
Jesus, you just see him
He
start
starts
to go.
sprinting in. Now he's
Yeah.
darting in, and in his mind, he's thinking. Even if Gabi Jesus manages to control that, okay, different story. But in his mind, he's just anticipating, what if it
He's
goes
not even
through everyone?
I don't think he was even thinking. Like you said, like Huss said, it's instinct. You just, I'm going to just go run to that spot.
But
like,
you don't. But it's like a thought. But it's like, and it's almost like a desire as well. Like this ball's coming to me.
It's taking a risk, a high reward, low risk situation. Because I talked about this with one of the girls we were coaching. We just had the tournament Memorial Day all weekend long. She's at strike. I said, when the ball comes through, just start running. Act like the ball is going to go over the defender or through the defender. I don't want you going up against this girl who's 6'1".
How many times have you said that? How many times have players like?
This is my point. We're there Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, where we played game after game after game, and I kept on yelling every time she did it. I take her off. I told her, you have to just. If you don't win the ball, what happens? We have 10 people behind you. If you win the ball, you could win the game. I swear to God, in the semifinal game, with less than 10 seconds left, she makes the run. It goes past the defender. She scores. We get into the final. We win. But I was just like,
Coach up.
I was like, finally, after goddamn 48 hours of telling you, screaming at you to make that run, because you have to anticipate that the defense. Because if you never make that run, cool, you might stop the defender from making a pass. Awesome. But if you always take that risk and you lose the ball, who cares? There's 10 people behind you. Your job is to score goals. Your job is not to win the ball.
High reward,
in front of the defense. Win it after the defense.
The
same thing too. Where you were saying, like, the defender, he was sleeping. Even if the defender tracks him, he's not catch up because he already has that 2 steps because he anticipated a little bit more. Sure. And he had bad positioning. He should have been more in front of him. But Coutinho, just that finish of toe poke through the legs.
Stab it through.
Oh, my God, that's tough. That's tough to watch. That is. Tough, being a Liverpool fan, that's really tough to watch.
You miss that, don't you?
Dude, man.
So over here playing like an ex-boyfriend.
Yeah.
If
that feels like it kind of feels like Fabregas, doesn't it?
If Liverpool had Coutinho Champions League final,
it's a different game.
It's a different game. I'm not saying they win,
exactly.
But the bangers he's been.
What did I say in January?
Is a goal he scored. You know what I mean? Like that's a goal we've seen for Liverpool for the last 3 seasons. Start on the left wing, cut inside, Charlotte in that first game. And this one, the anticipation, now he's starting to develop that poacher mentality in his game.
He needs to take more free kicks.
I should have had his personal number. I would have called him up.
Agreed.
Look, there were rumors of him feeling that he made the wrong decision by going to Barcelona early because they would have been there. There were rumors of him saying that. So, again, as I said in September all the way to January, there was no reason for him to go to Barcelona early.
Look, there was a reason.
Look, I agree, but look,
not really.
Huss, I've been to Barcelona, bro. I've been to the Camp Nou. And he grew up Brazilian, which means he watched La Liga over EPL. Dude, that's the
just sign and loan. Sign and loan. Sign and loan out to the end of the season.
No, it was him. It was him, dude. He wanted to move, and the season before that, Liverpool cock blocked it. You know what I mean? So like he had that bit of sour grapes about it. It's basically, dude, you buy a Ferrari and you say you can drive it in 6 months.
But just think about
every day you're gonna be staring at that car, being like, "Yo, I can't wait till 6 months."
And then you're like, "No, just wait 6 more months."
You're like, "Hell no, let me get in that car."
But at the same time,
and then you crash it into a wall.
We talked about this. I know, like, look, Karius made 2 blunders, but I know we're playing the game. If he doesn't make that, it's still 1-1. Coutinho gets the winning goal. There's literally a statue.
All right, that's too much hypothetical.
No.
Yeah,
the thing is,
that's too much.
He should have stayed. Look, I mean, the one good thing about the one good thing
you can wish he stayed.
No, he should have.
Dude, he's in Barcelona, loving life. He won a La Liga title.
No, he was on the bench a lot. He was on the bench a lot.
No, he wasn't, dude. Once Dembele got hurt, he was the dude.
No. Dembele was always hurt. He started coming back.
He played enough to earn himself a medal.
Dude, he got a medal.
You have to play under a certain
scored goals. He's playing with
Messi.
It was
like 10 games.
Speaking the language.
Hey, Coutinho, you made the right move.
The weather's better.
You're balling at the World Cup.
The women are better.
Women are better. He has a wife. What are you talking about?
Eating fresh paella, man. That man's eating fresh paella. Man, I know you want that paella.
No, dude, look, I understand as a Liverpool fan, your dicky butt hurt. I get it, but
it just not everything made sense for him to stay.
For Hollywood, not for him.
No, for him. Because if he did anything,
let's get over this.
He would have been a legend.
All right.
Now he's just another guy. 10 years from now, he's not going to be a Barcelona legend.
He's carrying Brazil. He's carrying Brazil.
He's not going to be Barcelona legend.
That is such an emotional statement.
He's not going to be Barcelona.
Huss is a scorned ex-girlfriend.
Is Fabregas a Barcelona legend?
No, but Fabregas is
He
two different
moved.
players.
He moved a bunch of different places.
It doesn't
too.
even matter.
No,
it's
same
two
thing.
different humans. It's not the same thing.
Huss.
Two different humans, two different positions,
We'll go
two
to
different
Catalunya.
countries.
I'll get you some fresh paella,
I don't want it.
and then you'll come over to
I don't want it.
Paella.
I don't want it.
Dude, if you're into Barcelona, you wouldn't want to come back to
No, I'm
fucking
going to Atletico Madrid.
Massachusetts.
Hanging out with Fernando Torres. I don't care if he's on the team or not. El Nino and I hit up the town.
the kid. Look,
Love
if
that.
We own the night over there.
If Gabi Jesus doesn't get this assist, I'm making a major statement and saying Firmino should start over him.
It's not
next
even
game.
an assist, though.
It counted as one because he
But
got
it's
the
not.
last
It's
touch,
a
but
missed
it's
touch.
Exactly.
We know, dude. Firmino has to start not because Gabi Jesus has been bad, but because Gabi Jesus hasn't been that dude. He hasn't linked up play. Like I said before the World Cup started, I think Firmino should have started. Firmino has had chances missed as well, but I credit that to him not being a starting player. He's not used to coming off the bench. At Liverpool, he's one of the first names on the team sheet. Dude, when he comes on, there's movement, there's touches, there's turning, there's unpredictability.
He's a center forward slash
smoother
center
than
back.
Gabi. I thought Gabi was more skillful.
He's a finisher.
I'm looking at it and I'm like,
No
look,
way.
No, should have finished
You know,
him.
Firmino's smoother.
Firmino is joga. He's that Brazilian joga of that samba play. Not to say Gabi isn't, but Gabi's less that.
more
Gabi's
direct,
more
yeah.
number 9.
Yeah, he's
like
more direct.
a European style kind of. He's got moves though.
Yeah,
so
no
not to
doubt.
get
Well,
carried
yeah,
away.
what was the second goal? Firmino won the header,
Yes.
which went to Costa, I believe.
Neymar.
I thought it was Firmino, Costa, then the pass. Well,
Oh,
Costa
you might
did
be
the
right.
pass.
You might be right.
But I mean, again, who won that?
Firmino.
Jesus not winning that. Firmino, work rate all day.
No,
Look,
Gabi got
Gabi has the
rate.
work rate.
Not like Firmino. No center forward has work rate like
Dude,
Firmino.
Man City,
Nah.
Man City
Man,
players
when
have work rate.
When players are on Liverpool,
Dude,
there's no one like them.
There's an edge that
As soon as they
Huss
leave,
makes a great point.
They'll never be
Has
legends.
has
Gabby
Gabby
great point, then he always goes over the
has
edge.
Gabby Jesus ever made a slide tackle at right back?
Yeah, dude, I'm sorry. He has it at Man City, bro.
Look at his FIFA work
come
rate.
on.
High and high. Look at Firmino.
Oh,
high and high.
relax.
There's a reason for
Firmino had
Duh.
much more
He
work
busts
Dude,
rate.
they play the
his
same.
ass.
They play the same pressing system at both clubs, dude.
Gabi
And
busts his
Firmino
ass.
still makes tackles inside Liverpool's
Dude.
box.
Look,
Okay,
when
look, who's
he runs
faster?
all the way
that's
back.
because-
Who's
no,
faster?
look,
Okay then. Okay, so
Who's faster with the ball?
dude, and it also,
I don't know.
man, and it also he makes those tackles because Liverpool's midfield and defense is shite. Gabi doesn't need to drop back and go make those tackles, but he can.
He
Dude.
could've.
You see him press the
Would've.
defender. Come on, man, we're losing focus.
I'm glad Neymar scored. You saw.
You got me fucking.
Nah,
hooked
he
here,
hooked you
man.
in there. I gotta set you up.
Get you a net.
Yeah, you did.
Dude, I'm so.
Yeah, you
Kilo Navas, man, he's showing you why he's a top 5 goalie in the world. I was like having a conversation with a few other guys, asking him, like, is he underrated? I think it just maybe like within the circle of friends that I have, where people are like, nah, Kilo Navas isn't all that, but.
No,
is
look,
this guy
Tom.
official? He's legit like top 5, and he's
Look.
not underrated.
I think he's rated exactly the way he should be. I think it tells us a lot that every season Real Madrid is looking for a goalie. This guy has mistakes in his game, not to Barthez level, but there are some saves he should make that he doesn't make.
Is he a top 5 goalie in the world to you?
By default, yes, because
Because
there
he's
just
starting
aren't
for
more
Real Madrid.
goalies. And there just aren't more goalies. Like, the talent pool isn't in goalies right now. It's in fullbacks. It's in wingers. It's just there aren't an abundance of goalies. We go through these weird phases where all of a sudden there's 10 top 5 goalies. There's 10 top 5 strikers. Like,
Okay.
right now, strikers just number 9 is just maybe 5 of them that are legit. Everyone else falls out of that. There's a reason why every season it's Courtois or De Gea. I'm not saying those guys are De Gea is
Oblak.
better. Oblak as well is also linked. There's a reason, Tom. Over 38 games, this guy doesn't cost Madrid points, but he puts him in sticky situations. But the difference with him, he has that special save trait that De Gea has, that Neuer has, that all these guys have. So it keeps him alive at Real Madrid.
He's got
But
that
they want
PK
that
too.
security of, like, the security blanket of, like, we don't have to worry about goalkeeper. Now, Courtois lately has shown, man, he might not be as good as we once thought. There's some holes in his game now. He's playing on a team that's not so protective. He was at Atletico Madrid, his bust-out team, when he played on loan and they made the Champions League final. He had that defense in front of him. Special saves, of course,
I think
but wasn't
everything's
tested.
magnified when you play for Real Madrid, because
For
if,
sure.
if De Gea makes that same mistake he made for Spain on Cristiano Ronaldo's goal, where he hit it with his left foot, and it just
But the
hits off his
difference
hand.
is-
Like if he does that at Madrid, all of a sudden he's got mistakes in his game.
No. The difference
No?
is, one, at Madrid, he's Spanish. They'll never turn on him. Casillas has made mistakes. Never turn on him. He's Spanish. And two, when was the last time we saw De Gea make that mistake? This might be
That
the
was-
first
that was
time
the
since
first
the crosses.
time, like in,
Since the cross issue.
yeah.
Since he debuted at Man United.
What if he has 2? Then all I'm just saying
that's
that
the thing with
pressure of
goalkeeper.
Madrid
Look, that's the thing
is
with
it's just. I mean, you
for
obviously
sure. If
played-
you have two, then yeah, they'll ask questions, bro. But Casillas there was no debate every summer like, yo, we should look at a goalie, even a backup goalie. There was no such debate ever because Casillas was that dude. Keylor Navas, it tells me a lot that every season.
Let me shift gears here real quick.
Well, real quick, Navas has that freakish special save.
Unbelievable.
Like he'll make saves that have no reason to be saved. Yes,
Agreed.
he makes mistakes, but he saves so many.
Agreed.
The
And
plus
that's why he still
minus,
has the Real Madrid job.
I still think he is. I'm trying to think of who would be above him
Neuer.
for top 5.
Neuer. De Gea.
No,
Neuer,
De Gea,
Oblak.
yeah, Oblak, Courtois,
Look, the reason
Neuer. So
why,
that'd be
they
like
need
Tom,
right there.
that's
so
four.
Buffon maybe. Not even. No, I wouldn't. I would probably
maybe
take
Buffon
Navas
2
right now.
years ago because he's younger. Look, the reason, like Tom is saying, it is Real Madrid, so everything's magnified, of course. So you can't have more than one a season. You probably can't have more than one every 2 seasons. And he has 2 or 3, not blunders, not like watch a
Not
highlight.
Willy
but-
Caballero.
Yeah, no Willy Caballeros. But like he does have that. Look, the Real Madrid hierarchy don't feel 100% safe with him. I'm sure they're like 90%. And there's a reason he holds that job.
Do you put Allison over him?
Not yet.
Okay.
But they're talking about that's actually a great shout. Real
Brazilian.
Madrid jumped into that deal and it's taken away from Liverpool for him. So even that,
Well,
it
now
just goes
there's
to tell you.
there's rumors that Real Madrid want to do Navas and 50,000 euro. Sorry, 50 million euros for Sadio Mane. I don't think that's a good deal for Liverpool.
Awful for Mane.
I mean, if you want to throw
Awful for
Kovacic in there,
Mane's exactly where he should be.
I don't want him to
Exactly
leave. But
where he should
if he's begging to go,
Mane's
Like,
perfect right
for
now. for
Kovacic,
Liverpool.
yeah, it's 2 different angles. So like, is Mane engineering this move, or is Liverpool somehow trying to get Navas?
well, it's
like,
probably
you
just
know what
the
I mean? Like,
Spanish tabloids. They're all liars.
that
Well,
too.
most
Yeah,
are
that's
liars.
World Cup
Yeah,
time.
It's
That
a
too.
lot.
Go ahead, Tom.
All right, a couple things. Neymar's been fouled so much this World Cup.
Some of it his fault.
Some of it his fault. He does embellish, and I know like.
No, I mean, holds on to it.
yeah.
Yeah,
he does-
when he should
if
be
you-
playing
if you
two
dribble,
touch.
you're gonna get kicked, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Now, what I wanted to ask is, I don't recall the last time I saw like a Brazilian star crying after a game from like a group stage game.
I do.
You do?
I do.
When?
2014 Brazil, they all cried. Thiago Silva, what's his name with the head? David Luiz,
After a group
Neymar,
stage
Tom.
game.
That's what I'm saying. This Brazil team, man, there is weirdness about this team, and that's why me and you had that debate
That
about Belgium
shocked
going
me.
further. Dude, this guy literally sat down and cried. No one else cried. He sat down and cried after every game in Brazil, and the commentators kept bailing him out, saying, "Dude, it's just the occasion of it. They
No,
finally get to host it in Brazil." Dude, this is Costa Rica. You're crying because if this was Germany, and you know this was to stay alive in the group, and you beat Germany in the 92nd minute, I get it. Even that I'm like weird about because
Two big reasons.
That is cause for
It's not
concern
a
for me.
good
That's why
thing.
I'm bringing it up. I'm like,
yeah, it's not a good thing.
2 big reasons. One, I mean, he loves the drama. Let's get it real. He loves the drama. There's a reason why he sat down on the field rather than just did it in the locker room. And 2, hangs out with Justin Bieber way too much. You need to cut that out. He needs to.
What do you mean? Bieber's
He
a
needs to hang out with
reformed
like
man
Sylvester
now,
Stallone or something.
Bieber's a reformed man.
Bieber's a gangster.
No, but that's what you need to hang out with like
Nah,
Arnold
dude.
Schwarzenegger.
Tom, this
no
was
crying on
Jesus,
this.
man. I'm chilling
Look,
with Bieber
Tom.
if I'm Neymar.
This is what I was
Get
talking
those
about
cheeks.
before the World Cup, man. Like, this is not that same. Look, as far as maybe individual ability, you can say this is a typical Brazilian team, but they don't have that shield about them. Like, you look at the 2002 Brazil. Were they the strongest Brazil we've ever seen? No. You know, there's no Romario, Bebeto, all
That
those
team was
guys.
nasty.
Team was
That
nasty.
was-
You look at 2006 Brazil, also not the best. That's when they were starting to struggle for that number
dropped
9.
off.
2010 Brazil, not the best,
Terrible.
struggling. But like again, there wasn't this vulnerability about him, and I've seen it since basically 2002. It's been a slide. Individually, still have guys like Neymar can win you a World Cup. They still have guys like Coutinho can win you a World Cup. But as far as the team, man, it's not. And the curious thing we were talking about is when this team goes down 1-0, do they have that backbone to fight? And they showed it against Switzerland. They showed the
Yeah.
backbone. But again, who's that against? Switzerland, bro. That you shouldn't even have to show that backbone as a Brazilian
look,
team.
what concerns is I couldn't imagine personally the amount of pressure that's on Neymar's shoulders. We talk about guys like Pogba, Messi, Ronaldo. The amount of pressure that these guys have to carry. For Brazil, for me, it's even worse because it's the winningest country in
It's
World
Pele,
Cup
bro.
history.
It's Pele.
And these guys, they kind of become, I guess they develop calluses towards it because Neymar's been coveted. We don't know it, but he's been coveted since he was 10 years old.
For sure.
Like, remember those old Ronaldinho videos where he scored like 27 goals in one in futsal game?
Yeah.
Like, so people know about these guys when they're
For
10
sure.
years old. They're put into the media, so they're able to develop this callus. But once it comes to the World Cup stage, so this would be my only, I guess, understanding of why he cried, because the amount of pressure he had been having, kind of a bad World Cup. He gets himself a goal finally. But it's still a concern to me that he's crying in a group stage game. There's no knockout
He
stage.
wanted
Tell me,
attention.
it wasn't crying like, oh man.
It was
this is-
relief.
He sat down and like you could see
Yeah.
his chest like heaving, bro. Like
So will the
but-
pressure
but
get
tell-
to him? It's a matter of pressure now when it
But
comes to
it's-
a knockout stage game.
and it was
get to him.
exactly, and it was after match day 2, bro. It's not
Yeah.
match day 3. We made it. Like you still have work to do. What are you releasing all that for? That fire should stay inside you. That pressure.
There may be some drama queen
For
into
sure.
it.
Loves
drama
the
king,
attention.
but-
Loves it.
But I think that one was deeper. I think that was primal. The way he cried, it wasn't.
It was
Again,
a
it
sense
was.
of relief. It was like,
It was so
and
primal,
look,
and
they
he
scored
shouldn't
the
feel the
90. They
relief.
scored the 91st and the 96th. So
And he
big
didn't
deal.
score it. And that goal he got sure was a goal, but the game was done. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? He
yeah.
didn't score the winner. If he scored the winner, maybe, and he dribbled from maybe. It was a tap-in, bro. It was a fucking tap-in. Like,
I don't know, man. That
to
concerns
release-
me. That
it's-
concerns me.
this
for
is a
sure.
shady Brazil, bro. This is a
I
shady
mean,
Brazil, but it's
it-
still Brazil.
If this was like Ryan Giggs going up the left side type of
Ooh,
goal,
Arsenal,
Why
where
gotta
you
bring
at?
up Fugazi
Where you
shit
at?
like
that-
FA Cup
if that, it
semi-final.
was, but if it was that type of goal, I fully
Yes.
like,
100%.
and not only that, if it was 0-0, not
100%.
not already 1-0.
Not a fucking
You.
tap in late in the game. He
Yeah.
didn't play particularly well.
That
he didn't play
surprised me.
bad.
Yeah,
He's
no,
killing
that
me because he's my
surprised me.
captain. I
Surprised
still
me,
on my
man.
team.
Should have
I'm
captain
hoping.
Harry.
I'm hoping for 3 goals this coming game.
That's why when people bring up that 7-1 saying Captain Neymar wasn't on the pitch, dude, maybe it might have not have been 7-1, but come on.
And
It would have been maybe
Those
7-2.
shoulders are questionable for Neymar, man, but the abilities. will
We're not
always
talking
be there.
Ronaldinho. We're not talking Ronaldo.
Dino's still my boy, dude. Dino, I think, was one of the bravest Brazilian players.
That's
of
what I'm
all
saying.
time,
But he
man.
won
He
in
had
the.
that pressure, and he S on his chest every goddamn time.
He was strong on the ball too. He wasn't getting
Strong.
pushed off.
Dude,
He
no, he
was
wasn't.
getting tripped. He was getting kicked. But guess what?
And he was
He
playing
kept
in the
dribbling,
middle.
and
He
he
was
would go
playing in
right
the
by
middle.
that player.
Dude.
I mean, that's the thing where, look, we know that players, we get a lot of slack because we play in America. There's a lot of slack for, oh, you dive, you little girl, like all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Though there were some Brazilian players that they had the moves, they had the power as well. Look at Ronaldo.
Kaká was one of those.
I mean,
yeah.
they would play through it. They didn't have this modern day.
For
I'm
sure.
going to dive over every single touch. You think Ronaldinho, Kaká, you think they're getting pushed over by a forearm in that game and complaining to the ref about it?
But I can name 1,000 other
No,
Brazilians who did.
well, I know, but what I'm saying is
I'm
that
saying
those
about the
players,
top-tier ones.
the top ones that from our generation, they're doing a move going around. They're powering through. They're scoring that goal.
Basically, what it comes down to, Neymar needs to come to the EPL, hit the gym, get on that TRT, HGH, put a little bit of muscle on this kid, get him stronger.
CR7 GH.
Like Messi. Messi's a small dude. I'm not saying get jacked like like Ronaldo, but just a bit of fucking strength. He's so skinny, man, and the tactic is always to break him.
and he's the most fouled player in this World Cup.
And he's falling apart. His ankle's busted. He came in with a bum right foot from surgery from being a long layoff.
And
You got to put some muscle on this kid if you're gonna play that dribbling game of absorbing a lot of hits. You got to work on that in the gym as well. I'm not saying get jacked, but like get
I
get a
do
little power
I do
about you.
wonder how much work off the field compared to CR7 and Messi, Neymar is putting
Exactly.
Yeah.
His
That-
chest is
that I
so
do wonder.
flat, dude. His back, like I'm not saying bench press, but like you can see a dude who's about that gym, like Willian. Pretty
is it-
skinny dude, but you see his leg. Like
Yeah.
there's some gym work going on. Come to the EPL, bro. They
Who
don't
has
put
the
up with
same
that
body
bullshit.
type as him?
in. Come to Arsenal.
Who has the same body type as him?
Who?
Neymar,
Nah, yeah.
Robinho.
Nah. I already said his
Robinho's a
name.
great
I already
one.
said his name.
Who?
He's not a soccer player.
We weren't listening.
Come on.
Justin Bieber.
Nah.
That dude, stop hanging out with Justin Bieber. Hang out with CR7.
Dude.
Work out in
Bieber
that
gets
gym.
Bitches, keep chilling with
But,
Bieber.
but not win the World Cup. But
Winning.
I do give him credit because
Charlie Sheen
from those
winning.
training videos, I'm not gonna say he's fabricating those, but those training videos when they're doing the rondos and he had to walk off, it looked like his ankle was legitimately hurting.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Yeah.
Look, I'm not saying he's
He wasn't
faking injury, but like you need your body. Like Ronaldo was absolutely kicked the first 2 years he was in the Premier League, and he adapted his game to start
Just his
passing it a
knees.
bit more. But dudes were going ham on him because he was this young, skinny Portuguese kid, and he realized I need to put on a little bit of muscle. You know, I need to start to work out.
Wrong Ronaldo. I thought you talked about the original Ronaldo.
Nah, it is more lower base training, more leg work, and
let's
all
get
that
that going. Get your tendons strong, all that stuff. But Serbia 1, Switzerland 2. My God, my God, Chaka Chaka. Your boy Chaka Chaka. Tom called it. I shouted it out in the group. This guy scores an absolute laser.
International baller, man. I'm telling you, there's something about Granit Xhaka on the Swiss national team, man. This guy steps up. He's the number 10.
He got an Arsenal deal because of his work at Switzerland.
Yeah. And he's a fraud for Arsenal. We'll see if Unai Emery's able to change that. I doubt it. But
he's suspect.
No, he's so suspect, bro.
He's borderline frauding, though. One more bad season is a fraud for me.
Yeah, but Wenger
because of that left foot cannon
in the right position,
and he didn't let him shoot. Like when he shot, Wenger would be stomping his feet. Like, why, dude? This guy's got a cannon. His strength, man. Skulls would shoot. You know what I mean? Like if you got a shot like that, you got to take it once in a while.
First time. Was that like? Did he shirl it? Was it inside of the foot?
No, it was laces, but like inside of the foot laces. So that's why I like curled away from the goalie.
Keeper stood no chance with this one, man.
No one did.
Through a sea of bodies as well.
At the beginning of the game, Serbia looked like they were dominating. They got the 5-minute goal from Mitrovic. It was a good goal. Yeah. And then after that, Serbia just kept pounding Swiss. I thought they were going to score again and again. And then they weathered the storm. They came out of it. Xhaka, oh my goodness. Dude. To score that goal, being down a goal. 7 minutes after in the second half? I mean, that's huge.
Dude, I'm so proud of Switzerland. They played their way into this game. Like, there was no panic. Like you said, Mitrovic comes in with the muscle. Serbia was crossing the ball every time.
It was a rough start.
Dude, they weathered that storm by sticking to what they do best. There was no hopeful, let's just give it to Shaqiri and he'll dribble by himself. There was movement. Guys were showing. There was work rate defensively. Dude, they showed some impressive resilience, man, considering there's a neutral country that never gets into wars.
And then, shots.
I love my Swiss.
Shots, man.
Serbia, also known as FC Robot. They're the robot team. Every player on the team. Jeez.
Every play ends with an H.
Try running up this middle.
Kolarov, who's the one Russian.
The one Russian.
If you run through the center of this field, I don't think you're running with legs anymore. You could get annihilated.
Unless you're not Shaqiri, bro.
You have to fight robot with robot. And like he's a mini robot.
Robot versus Bash.
And
Bash won.
Yeah.
Bash
won. Caveman right
and
there,
with his 12 million euro release clause, whatever it is, he's looking like he's wanted by a lot of. Barcelona's now in with him. Or Barcelona is now rumored to be going in for him. Man, I think that'd be awful.
One place he should go. Oh, no, 2 places he should go. Tottenham, Liverpool. That's it.
No. Disagree. For me, he's
Real Madrid.
Shaqiri is the same. He's the same guy as Wilfred Zaha. He needs to be the man wherever he goes. He needs to be starting day in day out. Be the man. Don't be the guy who might lose a spot coming off the bench and then you're in and out wherever he goes. I don't know where, but Liverpool, you're not starting over Salah. No chance. Tottenham. You're not starting over Dele Alli or whoever they like to play out on that Lamella or whatever.
They're working out that wing, though. They're working out that wing.
He doesn't need a guy. He doesn't need to come in and fight for his position. Is what I'm saying. At Switzerland, there's no argument. He's the man. He's the absolute man.
If he goes to Barcelona, he reminds me of De La Feu, basically. Yeah. Sit on the bench, rot. We're gonna loan you out.
Kill your career.
Oh, well, it's one of those things where De La Feu went out multiple times, did well, came back, sat on the bench, went out, did well again.
He's been there, done that at Bayern.
That's what I'm saying. Where it's Shaqiri and then also Inter, I want to say.
Yeah, because
he was in it for Liverpool were going in for him, but I believe they just threw him at Inter anyways. But
perfect spot right now.
You know what? I still wouldn't mind seeing him at West Ham.
Perfect spot.
He should go to
relegated.
Palace. Shaqiri should go to Palace.
Well, I was thinking Palace.
When you need
Willie on the left, Shaqiri on the right.
Willie up front. Willie up front now.
Fine then. Willie up front, Shaqiri on the right. Fuck Townsend. Townsend could go.
No. I'm all in. I'm all in with that. It's either Crystal Palace or I still wouldn't mind seeing him at West Ham.
That's fine too.
Get there with the Bash brother again.
I'd like that too.
Come on. There's really the Hammers then.
West Ham could work for sure.
They're the Hammer right now. They need to carry for the Hammers.
That's so
dude, he must have one of the hardest shots as well. Him and Xhaka, deadly left feet. Dude, he hit the crossbar on that Schürrle cut inside, just whipped it with a power shell.
Banger.
Dude, you knew he was gonna get one. He was just too hungry for this game.
That's sometimes more satisfying than the goal. Hitting the post
Never.
and you know what I'm talking about? Like even indoors when you hit the wall, it just woo, and everyone's like turn their head, like who shot that? I mean, obviously you want to shoot the goal, but like no, of course you want the goal. But I'm saying when you hit that ball and it makes that huge noise, everyone's like, what the hell was that?
Very important point to make here. Shaka and Shaqiri, who have Albanian roots, may be in trouble for their celebrations. They crossed their fingers.
Yeah, that bird.
I was wondering what they were doing about that.
The old Nico Anelka celebration, I think, is what it was. And so that apparently represented the Albanian flag, which is like an
The Albanian
eagle
flag
or
is like an
dragon.
eagle on it, so that's why they were doing that.
Okay.
And if you know, Serbia and Albania have a long history of
The whole
war
Yugoslavia and stuff. Yeah,
all that stuff. So that may have been a shot at Serbia. It is being investigated. We'll see what the repercussions are. But that's how intense this game was. People don't even know that like these are two countries, or at least they have players on Switzerland with Albanian roots, who have. That's why I think that may have been like little extra impetus for these two guys to get the goal.
Oof. I mean, he took the shirt off, showing the muscles.
Playing for their lineage. Yeah.
And
He's got
to beat
boulders
those
for shoulders.
dudes, yeah, man, the dude. I mean, he was shouting out Cristiano Ronaldo, calling him out.
Well, I
he
mean,
took it off. He even like lowered his pants so you could see the V. He's like, yo,
Well,
I got a V right here.
He is
CR7.
straight up like deadlifting. He's like a
Yeah,
world's
he's a
strongest
beast.
man type of body. You can't even see
He's a
the
I'll tell you
cannonball.
what, though, you gotta hit that bench press, bro.
No,
Chest is a little.
Nah, you don't need it in soccer, man. You don't need it. That's just heavy weight for no reason, dude. You don't need titties in footy.
No, you don't.
You need back. You need the push muscle, not the pull. Unless you're a defender, of course. Motherfucker,
Sergio
stay
Ramos
pulling.
pull. Yeah.
Stay
That
pulling.
little
Yeah.
tug.
Pulling that dude.
That tug job.
push it real good.
All right. Group E, like we said, recap. Brazil on top with 4 points. Switzerland with 4. Serbia with 3. Costa Rica, unfortunately for them, knocked out. But they could play spoilers with Brazil playing Serbia on the last day.
Man.
Serbia needs to win this. Needs to win against Brazil. Brazil will go for the win. They don't quote-unquote need the win, but they will go for the win.
Yeah, that's tough. That's a tough psychological battle for Serbia right there. The
Dude, I think-
approach was first 2 games, get your business done, and then we'll play Brazil, and what happens, happens.
Dude, I think it's not... Look, it's tough, of course. That's not ideal. But
The
to
draw would have
know-
been better.
Yeah, for sure, absolutely, man. But to know that it's all or nothing against Brazil takes that pressure off you because you know you got to win. So, like, when you're going against Brazil and you're sitting in second and you're like, if we lose and Switzerland wins, you know, there's that weirdness. What I'm saying is the fact that they have a
I agree.
solo
you
mission.
must go for a win. I see what you're saying.
Obviously they want it. They want it to be 6 points up,
I
but
see what you're saying.
for sure, man. Group F, we got here. Man, Mr. Buzzer beat himself, Tony Cruz, but we got Mexico sitting on top with 6 points. Germany with 3. Sweden with 3.
All right.
Korea technically knocked out with 3 points, unless they can get some goal difference game
Korea
going.
with
0 points.
Real quick with Mexico. Landon Donovan came out that commercial, have the Mexico shirt on. I don't know if you've seen it.
I love how he's supporting them.
But there's a lot of not a lot, but I mean there's some backlash from the United States players saying that I could never root for Mexico because we're rivals. I understand that, but as fans, I'm rooting for them. Look, if I'm playing against them and it was look, I don't know what was said between the players. I don't know what was done, so maybe you could hate them a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? But if I don't know them and I'm looking at these teams, if we're not in it, I kind of have to support a little Mexico because they have everything that they have everything that we want the U.S. to be. They have skill, but they have the drive. They're willing. What was? Oh my goodness, I just blanked on his name. Lonzo. When he came back,
Lozano.
Lozano. Yeah, Chucky. When he came back and blocked that shot.
And he got hurt. Yeah.
Oh my! On the right side of the box.
Savage, dude.
Tell me a United States player that you've seen do that. Exactly. Heart. Mexico, they're throwing more out there than the U.S. did, and that's the biggest reason why they're there and the U.S. aren't.
Yeah, man.
I mean, let's not forget, the U.S. lost 2 to Trinidad when it mattered. You know what I mean? And then, obviously, Panama scored that game winner to kick the U.S. out. But if the U.S. had won that game, obviously we'd need results as well to get them into the World Cup. But And I got no beef with Landon Donovan, dude.
I
doing
love
this.
the fact that he's supporting Mexico. You know what I mean? Like, it's okay to it's a rival, but at the same time, like, if you're gonna lose out and not make the World Cup, you might as well want your rival to do as well as they can. And in a way, they kind of make you look better in a way. You know?
Yeah,
what I mean?
look, I hate that logic. If anyone beats me in a tournament, I hope they go out next round so they can cry as hard as I did. But with this, it's different, man. With this, he chose Mexico not because they're Mexico, but he also, everyone forgets, he said he's going for Costa Rica and Panama as well. So he said he's going for because when they win, it benefits the group, the CONCACAF group.
That's what I'm.
It's the same as sort of, yeah.
Was also getting a
But
nice chunk of change probably on that commercial too.
Yeah, that too. But even
it-
still, I don't think he did it for the money, man. I genuinely believe him in that.
Where'd he spend last year? I already brought it up. Where'd he spend last year?
Mexico.
Mexico at Leon.
Yeah.
So there's a different thing right there. So if you spend enough time in one place, even if you're rivals, you still got. I mean, I'm sure he has some love for Mexico because he played there last year.
Interesting too. He like grew up Canadian or like from Canada. He said it himself, and then like
He moved to Germany at one point, I think.
yeah. So he's been in like essentially all three North American countries. In Canada, obviously the U.S. representing them at the highest level, and then playing in Mexico. And I'm with you, man, with the CONCACAF thing. Like, keep it in your region, bro. Like, it would be how weird would it be if like an African player was like, yeah, man, like I want Germany to whip whoever, or
Nigeria.
Like,
I want Argentina to whip
Nigeria. You'd be like, wait, what the hell? This is
dude.
kind of. I know you may love Messi and all that, but it's kind of like, where do your loyalties kind of lie? So for me, it makes sense for Landon Donovan, anyone with any backlash.
Unless if there's some real
salty.
And dude,
it's just bitterness.
And he gave everything to the U.S. You know, I crap on him for not going overseas to play in the Premier League full time. You know, he stayed with LA Galaxy, and I still think he went for that big fish in a small pond mentality.
But he did well at
when
Everton too.
Yeah, sort of. When he wore the red, white, and blue, dude, he gave everything to the team. So you can't question that. Look, if it was some guy who was sort of a part feature on the team and then all of a sudden chooses Mexico, you can probably give him more shit. I also, to be fair, I understand where the diehards are coming from. You know, like this is a rivalry where when the U.S. was playing in Azteca, the fans pissed in cups and threw piss cups at the players, at the U.S. players.
That's when
so
we're
that's
playing against each other. That's
exactly. So just like when you're watching the Champions League, and I'm quietly rooting for Liverpool in the Champions League final because I want to see it come back to the Premier League as much as that
United
hurts.
fan.
Yeah, I'd rather see the Premier League get more ducats than La Liga again, you know? So, like, it's that weird quietness. Now, was there a need for him to put on a Mexico shirt? Not a jersey, but a Mexico shirt in that Wells Fargo commercial? Probably took it a little too far, but even still, man, this dude gave everything for this. But it's like, you know what it's like, Tom? It's like Vieira, you know, turning his back on Arsenal. Tony Adams, obviously we know, is Wenger, but like it still pains you. Fabregas as well, turning his back on Arsenal. So there's still that pain of like, man, did you need to take it that far?
I mean,
That's what you're saying.
again, it comes down to the players. I'm not them. I did not play against Mexico. So if that team, when you played, was completely filled with some Class A D-bags, I can tell you right now, I wouldn't root for them. I would hope the worst for them. But then again, if you just played a tough, hard-nosed type of game where you can really like hate each other during the 90 minutes but kind of shake each other's hands at the end,
Yeah.
if
If it was a professional rivalry, yeah.
Look, I've gotten fights with people before, and like at the end of the game, we kind of laugh about it. It's kind of like with Mark Noble at the end of the year.
It's not a real fight, bro.
No. I mean, look. I mean, the same thing. No. No.
I hope his leg's broken.
What I'm saying is, well, of course, there's people like that, but what I'm saying is, like, when Mark Noble went up to Pogba, kind of put his hands in his face, tried to, like, break his neck, but at the end, they both smiled, laughed, had a good time.
That's true.
That's my mentality. Like, in the 90 minutes, there's a good chance that if you do something, there's a good chance I'm going to go after you, like, hard. But at the end,
I'm bitter.
it is what it is. Like,
I'm bitter, man.
Yeah, I hope
Like
grudges.
I don't even
shaking
hands after games.
Even when I
like,
win or lose, so it's not about winning or losing. When I win, I don't want to shake the loser's hand. Fuck you, you're a loser. When I lose, I don't want to shake your hand. Fuck you, you just took my dreams away.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So like
I
that sportsmanship, I've always been on the fence about. I'll do it because
the only
it's
time I
nice.
do it is when I respect the opponent. If I respect your game, if you
they just
earned it, or I
outclassed
think
you,
I'm like, damn, okay, you're good, you're a baller. There's respect there. But even like when you tie someone, and it happened this past weekend to one of my players, and like I love it, man, because it's like a 15-year-old kid playing with like the Revs Academy team, and like we're winning 1-0. They tied 1-1. And then the kid was like, man, we're on the bench and we're looking at you. We're like, damn, that kid's fast. Kid's really good. Then the player who received the compliment, who was on my team, looked at me. He's like, I hate when kids do that. I hate when they compliment me. I'm like, yes, I love it.
I'm not there to make friends.
Yeah, exactly. I'm here for competition, son. Like, and you should be more competitive than that.
Look,
so.
I'm not saying that you have to hug. Like, look, even if it's a slap of five, whatever. No,
sounds
because
like you're trying to make friends out there.
No. You don't have to. But
sounds like if we're in a PFC league.
Look, I don't.
The weak link.
Hands.
Look, I'm not. I have no bitterness against people who do leave the field, because I think one of the commentators, I think it could have been Wagner again, said something about Messi walking off the field, being the first one to shit his bad sportsmanship.
Shut up with that sportsmanship.
No, they shook before the game.
Yeah,
that's all that matters. If you walk off, that's fine. I'm cool with that. Yeah. But at the end of the game, if I'm there and you're there and we shake hands, I'm cool with that too.
Or if you don't want to,
like,
yeah.
I'm
not.
I'm
we're
not
adults here, man. This is not U10. At U10, at youth level, I get it. You're trying to teach these kids the right thing. I get it at that level. Once you hit 18, man,
not even
it
16.
Shouldn't be. Okay,
in my mind,
whatever. But like,
depending on what stage you're at, depends.
People should stop being butthurt that my opponent didn't shake my hand. You're a fucking adult.
But you shook at the beginning of the game.
Even if you don't shake at the beginning of the game,
I take it as a badge of honor, especially if we beat the team and they don't
give me
shake our hand. I was like, I got
under
all
you.
up in your head, son. I'm in your head.
Either way, man.
But South Korea, speaking of physical game, man, these guys were just
they're hacking.
They were just
should have been more yellow cards out there.
These dudes were just extra physical. And look, man, Mexico dealt with it well. There was a certain point in time where a Mexican player got fouled, was kind of complaining, and then I think it may have been Chicharito who was like, "Hey, get up, get on with the game. Like just keep playing, it will come." And I was so happy for Javier Chicharito Hernandez to get his 50th goal for Mexico. Hate the commentator. The commentators. Ready, aim, fire!
Okay,
it's so corny.
The best part,
corny. I love it.
The best part was he got the timing wrong on multiple calls.
Yes,
like he'd be like, and they take the shot, fire, and like after they already shot.
Jorge kills me, man,
dude.
And not in a Ray Hudson way, where like I love Ray Hudson.
Ray Hudson's funny.
Yeah,
he actually uses
hilarious.
other words. Not ready,
dude. I like him because he's the closest to Telemundo I can get and still understand the language. But he's out there speaking a second language, guys. English is a second language. It's corny as hell, but it comes from the heart. It's organic passion. He's not out there trying to say,
timing right
hey,
then.
It's the first half. Let me see if I can get these 20 quotes in. Like
that's not what Ray does.
That's Ray Hudson, dude. On every play, he's like, Tiger's tummy. It's not natural. I used to love Ray Hudson when he first started. He'd have 2 or 3 when special moments happened, sprinkle it in there. And then he started to see the Twitter hype he got.
So he
that's
started
not what
playing
happened.
to the Twitter
That's
hype.
not what happened.
Dude, he dipped his toe in the water. What do we all do before we jump into the pool? You dip your toe.
And he's that
and
dude,
then what happened?
Dude, he's that dude making a cannonball in the jacuzzi, bro.
Yeah.
Put that shit at the pool.
If that's who you are, that's who you are.
It's not who he is. He's doing it for the fame. And that's why I always say he's taking attention away from these players. This guy talking about ready, aim, fire. Oh, he shoots from far.
I can't stand on it, man.
So amateur.
Yeah, man.
But it's a second.
I like his partner. I like his partner because he'll call him out. In a heartbeat. The guy who I don't know his name.
His partner. Yeah.
He'll ask him stupid questions like,
dude, that's the best.
Was that offside? I don't know. And he's like, no, it wasn't offside. What the hell are you talking about, Jorge? It was legit.
Dude, that's the best part, man.
You can tell he's sick of it. He's like, dude, no, you're ready, set, fired.
To get fired out of this.
Dude, that's so great.
Fire your ass out of this.
Yeah, I'm gonna ready, set, quit real soon.
Should be Jorge and Stuart Holden and Warren Barton. Everyone else,
Jorge can tell. I can't imagine Barton with Jorge next.
Dude, that would be so great. Dude, Barton, every time Barton commentates, he's talking about Jorge. He's like, yo, Jorge was out like 3 a.m. dancing. He's supposed to be at work, Jorge. He's always taking these weird, like, they got chemistry, man.
No, they do. Look, Jorge's a character, man. I'm just joking when I say, like, I hate the dude. You know what I mean?
Dude, I'm not joking about Hudson. That dude is spotlight hungry.
Ray Hudson deserves to be at the World Cup.
Again, I like his energy, but say something else and then also get the timing right. If you say it about 2 seconds after the guy shot the ball, it's too late, dude.
ESL, bro. He's trying to find the words while the game's moving too fast.
He knows what to say.
There's 3 words.
Look, in Spanish,
ready. How do you mess that up, dude?
I'm sure in Spanish.
He
Man,
put
in
that
the war in the 1800s, they used to line up
Oh,
when everyone could just walk in. Load the musket, just walk in a straight line, not even juke and dodge the weapons.
and the fact that it's already worked. It's already worked for whose goal was that? I think someone shot it underneath the wall. Was it for Brazil?
Yeah, it was Colombia.
Oh, Colombia. Oh, Hamet. Was it Hamet?
Against, no, it was Quintero. Colombia against
shoots at near
Japan.
post underneath,
Yeah.
and it's
It's so great. I put the volume on full blast when that dude's commentating because I know there's just going to be screaming, but it's all organic. That's the difference with him. He's not just screaming to get into Twitter, bro.
Dude,
whoa.
Ray's
You're
organic.
saying no. This guy is as much, let's say, organic as Ray Hudson because you're telling me he's doing this to be hired.
Watch Ray Hudson when he first started. He'd have 2 or 3 a half when
You know
special
why?
moments happened.
Because I'm telling you, the tiger
now,
got
Tom,
out of the cage.
now
You
it's
had
on-
the tiger in the cage
Thank you.
before.
You know what I got
and
for
then
that
the
tiger?
was an actual tiger.
I got a
now.
bullet for that tiger, and I'm gonna make a rug out of it.
All right,
all right.
That's
Endangered
cool.
tiger.
You ever see that
Yeah,
tiger
Ray.
jump on top of the elephant?
Fire!
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, that's
I'm
Ray.
not
He's
that
coming
dude.
for you.
I'm not that
He's gonna
dude.
scrape you.
Again,
Sucks.
like let's talk about South Korea. 4 yellow cards. How are there only 4 yellow cards in this game? I could have counted 10.
Yeah,
with this.
the refs are tight with yellows, which I appreciate in a tournament setup. Obviously, the emotions are going to be higher, so you can't ref. I was talking to my boy Eagle. You can't ref the World Cup the same you would a 38-game season. 2 yellow cards knocks you out of competition. The goal of the refs is to let 11 players stay on the field. Obviously, there are moments, like we said with Otamendi, that should have been easily a red card. There's a line not to
Your boy
cross.
T sucks.
Look, he's my boy,
He sucks.
and he sucks. There's no debate.
Captain in South Korea.
I fucking love this dude. I don't know
Can't stand
why.
this dude.
Maybe on Swansea had that one good season when what's his name was there.
Michu.
Yeah, Michu. When
Yeah.
Michu was there, Key was in there, dude,
Dude,
balling.
Key sucks.
Williams was behind him. It was
Sucks.
great. Now he sucks, bro. I
Had a
still
couple
love
nice
him.
long balls this game,
Still
but
love him.
other than that, Heung-min Son, that's the South Korean that
Is
everyone
he?
needs to keep in their hearts.
Is-
This man is trying to put the team on his back. Nice little step over to the left, and I'll ping from outside
Yeah,
the
That was
box.
great, but he had
Last
multiple chances for goals.
game. He did.
I mean, I think he should have at least had 2 goals in this game. If he was on, he could have had 3.
Go to the army, son.
But
Go to
again,
the army. You're better use there.
when a
Chucky
whole
Lozano
team
was shutting that
relies
shit down
on
with
one
Carlos.
player, he is the South Korean CR7. If he doesn't get the
Don't
goal,
you dare.
nobody else
He's
is.
the South Korean Messi.
No.
No,
He's
he plays
left
up
or
top.
South Korean
He's
Messi.
got the step over on deck.
South Korean
tall.
Messi in that he.
What
chokes.
position is he playing?
He's a.
What
choker.
position is he playing?
Never mind position. What position is he playing? Knocked out of
Center
the World
forward.
Cup. Bottom of the group. What position is Messi playing? Bottom of the group.
Nah, you about to jinx Nigeria right there. You just jinx Nigeria.
right.
Knock on some wood, man. Knock on some wood.
Messi's
Right.
coming for
Knock on the
CR7.
table leg.
Hey, you know what? If Iran could get a goal,
Iran.
Or Iran
Iran.
could get a goal.
That's not
Iran.
right.
No, yeah, I was gonna say Iran's right. I just so you.
That's no confidence in his pronunciation.
I just so used to. I'm just so used to always getting them. And then, like, as you're saying it, I'm playing back in my head. I'm like, I didn't get that wrong.
If Uruguay,
they can.
it's Uruguay. No confidence in pronunciations.
No, that's definitely not true, dude. I'm that guy that, like, if I go on vacation and don't know the language, you tell me something weird, I'm telling it to a
You're gonna be
local.
swearing at people,
I'm going to get beat up. But Mexico, they are looking for realsy.
Dude.
They are, man.
Dude, I'm so proud of him. Wifey was asking me which team's my bandwagon. I said Africa. France is
Africa?
not my- yeah, Africa.
Team
What-
Only one team.
Team
Africa.
What team
I like
is your
Senegal, dog.
bandwagon?
Senegal.
Africa.
Senegal's hungry.
Senegal looks better than Nigeria.
Dude,
So you
she-
root for, like, 6
And you have the
teams?
same reaction as you did. Like, come on, bro. Come on. So I'm guessing for me, Mexico and Colombia. Colombia, those fans, dude. Those fans drive me nuts.
They're
There's
so about
so many of them there when they were playing Japan. It made me hate Japan. You know what I mean? For no reason. I like the Japanese samurai heart. But, man, Mexico, so proud of these guys representing CONCACAF, representing Landon Donovan personally. Chicharito, like you said, Tom gets that goal. Carlos Vela, waking up from the dead, doing his best Undertaker impression, bro.
Can you say 50?
He's the
Why
greatest.
0? Get out of here, Jorge.
Dude, but you know the best. You know when I fell in love with Jorge? 2014, James Rodriguez scores the goal, the chesty against Uruguay, I think, right?
to the volley.
The volley, the deal that
The
got
Real
him,
Madrid goal.
the deal that got him the Real
That
Madrid
was.
team, and he scores a goal. I was like, whoa, James, don't call me James Rodriguez.
That was
I was
ill.
like, dude,
That was
that's
ill.
my boy. That's
That
my
was ill.
boy, man.
He's got his moments, man, but
No, he's tough, bro.
But,
I'm not gonna
uh,
sit here and be like he's easy to listen to.
Well,
he
even
says
the
some shit where I'm
volume's
like,
on
bruh.
7.
Even the whole
Nah,
stadium,
57.
even the whole stadium, even like today's game was we watched Portugal right before the game. 3, 2, 1, and you see the go, and I'm like, what is going on?
Soccer time!
Yes, I'm like, what is going on with this tournament right now? I'm like, they're just trying to make noise right now.
Dude.
It's
Oh my
organic
God.
though. He's not trying to do it to make
that's not,
it to
he
Twitter.
planned that.
No.
he
That was
planned it,
the
but he's not-
Okay, so what's
I
the
thought-
difference between him and Ray Hudson? Ray Hudson has
Ray
some
Hud-
planned lines.
No.
It's not.
No.
He's
Ray
got
Hudson
certain things like,
is
look,
doing it.
and he stands on the balcony.
Ray Hudson is
like
doing
Mussolini.
it to get
like
Ray Hudson's doing it to get retweets.
Wait,
No.
This guy is doing it because he's his passion for the game.
Nah, man.
Wait,
Alright,
by the way,
that's
was
messed up.
that even the commentator saying 3, 2, 1? I wasn't even sure that was going through the speakers in the stadium.
To be fair,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, like,
to be
come
fair-
on.
No. To be
It's
fair,
like a circus out there right now.
that's how every game has started. Like
Yep.
the crowd.
Well, I
says
know,
3,
I
2,
know,
1,
but,
and
like-
he just joined. He just joined
No,
because
but
he
I'm just
loves
saying,
the
like,
game
this-
and he's just
No,
passionate.
but no one
They're trying
joined
to-
when he said it's soccer time.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
So
I'm
late.
buying. Whatever he sells, I'm buying, bro. That guy's.
Oh,
the man.
I mean,
on
he
the
just-
other side,
Sound you some fugazi.
Germany.
I just realized how bad my rolling of the tongue was. I was like,
Super Irish.
Yeah, there we go.
Dude, Germany 2, Sweden 1. What a rescue mission, Tony Cruz.
Is this
Gets in
goal
a
of the tournament?
submarine.
No.
Look, it's top 5. I mean, it's
Dude.
It's not because the goalie, man. The
This
goalie
was
cheats.
World Cup depending. If they lost this game, they're out of the World Cup.
It's a major goal. It's hey man, you have to have big cojones. The way he scored. We want to talk about
Pretty much out.
who's clutch. CR7 tying it up 3-3 against Spain with the free kick. To me, has been the goal of the tournament, even though it wasn't for a win. But this goal was an amazing goal. Tony Cruz. You know how I feel about Germany this World Cup. You know,
sure.
and it's just solely for this World Cup because they left my boy Leroy Sané out. I don't want them to win. I want them to be out. And I think that, you know, Germans, the players, they felt that not necessarily because of Leroy Sané, but people in general are just sick and tired of Germany advancing and you know, basically making it to semifinals for like the last 3 or 4
And
World Cups.
I think them losing to Mexico won over a lot of fans against them. You know what I mean? Like, Mexico with the heart, the way they played. Germany, of course, like they had the chances, the possession, the shots, blah, blah, blah. But the spirit of Mexico and now the spirit of Sweden, like it's waking up these teams. Let's hope the spirit of South Korea is there to play spoilers on match day 3. But
Sweden, for me, was so wasteful. They had so many chances. Germany still, similar to Argentina, maybe not as bad, but they're pretty terrible in defensive transition. Like, when they lose the ball...
It's for different reasons. I think Argentina is a bit of a lack of tactical awareness and like where the holes are, so to get there and cover.
Yeah.
With Germany, it's disrespect. With Germany,
I think it's pace.
it's disrespect because I always call him Ballack. Hummels came out after the first match day when they lost to Mexico and said, dude, on every time we defend, it's either I'm back there alone or it's me and Boateng, and that shows lack of tactical discipline. And I think it's that system of like, if we basically play that Man City, Barcelona, not Liverpool so much because they respect defense a little bit more. Not good at it, but they don't bomb as much. We can win the game in their final third. And at the World Cup, man, teams have been watching. All these coaches have watched every single one of your qualifying games. They know how you play. They find your holes. You can't play that same system of putting Kimmich at number 9 when you're attacking.
Yeah.
You know, you just can't do that. And that's how they got caught out against Mexico multiple times. That's how Sweden caught them out. Difference is Sweden couldn't put it away, man.
They had a
Marcus
chance to make
Bjerg,
it 2-0, bro, and that would have been...
Wait,
backbreaker.
talking about the header at right before the halftime?
They had a bunch of opportunities.
Yeah, because,
There was-
Manuel Neuer, oh my goodness, welcome back to the show. That save right before halftime. They had that, I don't think it was a free kick. I think it was just a regular cross, but Sweden got that header.
I'm talking about Bird.
He just laid all the way out to the right side, got that tip, and then next thing you know, it's halftime. That went in, 2-0 down. I don't say that's the end of the road for Germany, but that's close
That's
to
a hell
it.
of a... Okay, then...
Yeah.
So what? Maybe they tie it 2-2? And even then, the odds are really against them. This win for Germany now psychologically helps
Wakes
this
them
team out. And they're playing the next game against the weakest team in the group.
Agreed.
So they're not going to start. They're not going to have another game like they did against Mexico, where they start that slowly, that poorly. Even in this game, they're going to learn from going down 1-0. This team, as much as I hate to admit it, they're going to keep getting better as the tournament goes on.
But if Hummels or Sewell come in because Boateng got the red and have a good game, did Boateng just lose his spot because he almost got a red card if they called it in the first match that they had? That could have been 2 games in a row. So he's looking slow. He's not helping his chances to get out of Bayern Munich at all.
Now look, it's possible in that they're not, unless in the knockout stages, depending on the draw. Against Korea, you don't need Boateng. Obviously, he's not available, but depending on who they get in the next draw, Sula could come in there, or Rudiger could come in and play that position.
Oh, Rudiger,
Rudiger's
already
not
there.
going anywhere.
No, Rudiger's no. I'm talking about because Boateng's out for the next game.
I think
you have to play.
Boateng may lose his spot, and I've been hearing links of Jerome Boateng potentially going to Man United. I think that would be a mistake. I think he's a good center back, but I do think he's on the decline. I think you guys
should have made the switch like 3 years ago.
Yeah, 3 years ago.
29. He's 29. Yeah, so it's late.
Yeah.
It's late in his career.
He's still a very good center back, but I think Man United can do a little bit better than him. Even though he's a very
Dude. I
experienced
mean, Messi
player.
put him in a body bag,
He
so
did.
we've seen him.
He put him in the coffin.
one-on-one.
I was actually really.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say I was really surprised. Just talking about ages. Mino Neuer, New Year. 30. Yeah, New Year. Whatever. Jesus.
New Year. Happy New
30.
Year.
Yeah, 32 years old. I did not expect. I was thinking that he was like 28 for some reason. It just seems like
that long, man.
He's
Yeah.
been around.
He's been good for that long since Schalke. I think Schalke was when he was 28, around there, maybe
It's like
20,
24, 25-ish.
Yeah, somewhere there.
Man.
That Schalke
Yeah.
Man United game that put him on the map,
Yeah.
saved like 4 breakaways, guys. If you haven't seen Man United versus Schalke Champions League game, I
When
think
he was
Neuer
sweeping.
saved like 3 breakaways, had like crazy ass saves. That was a game that put him on the map, and Germany snapped him up the next transfer window.
Feel bad
not
for-
Germany, Bayern. Just to give you an idea.
Is it Rudy?
Yeah.
Sebastian Rudy. Caught Toivonen's the heel of Toivonen's stud. I'm not sure if his nose was broken. I surmise that's why he was subbed out, because he was just leaking blood everywhere. Typically, they'll just bandage it up and you
It
can
could
go
be,
back in. But
although the nose, it could be a cut, you know what I mean, with the stud on the outside. So it might not be broke. Probably is, but it might not be. And, like, you can't really put a Band-Aid or, like, a wrapping over your nose, you know what I mean, because it covers your eyes. So, like, you had to come off.
he was visibly pissed off when he was subbed off for Gundogan.
Yeah, which leads me to believe it wasn't quite broken. It was just a cut that they couldn't stop from bleeding, you know what I mean? So a couple of stitches, probably have to play with a mask. But again, like, is he that important for Germany?
no,
Probably
because you
not.
got Gundogan coming in,
But
and then
he's,
if
he's
he
the one, like, not one, but like between Tony Kroos, and this is why I don't think he's the best center midfielder in the world. Is defensively, he doesn't have that same work rate, right? So he's absolute quality going forward, but defensively he's weaker in that regard. So
you
you
could
need
bring in
Rudy to be that.
or
center.
Khedira, but
Khedira
what
can
about
do that job.
Goretzka?
No, not anymore. Like he could.
What about Goretzka?
He's young. He's a lot of energy, but again,
Goretzka.
he's better going forward than he is defending. Now, will he have the tactical discipline in a World Cup to be more holding? I believe in him. I think he will, but Yogi Löw's looking at it like this is not the time to put a 23-year-old in a must-win game.
Every time we bring this guy up, I sent out a message to some of the guys we used to coach with. He looks like a long-haired version of me and Toomey's old boss, Fred. Think about it, because he's like that old man strength.
Who?
Fred.
No, I know
No.
Fred, but
Low.
in Germany.
Jurgi, the
Yo,
manager.
He does.
Yeah, doesn't
He strung out,
if you put like that wig on Fred,
Yeah,
you,
like
it's
mop
like
hair.
it's like
Yeah.
the same thing.
Yeah, dude, he
I was
does.
laughing the other day, sending it out to like all the guys.
No, but
I was like, "Am I wrong about this?"
oh man,
I tried to find a picture of both of them. I couldn't.
that guy was an asshole.
Like Mexico through to the semifinals, just a question of whether they're in semifinals. Through to the round of 16, just a question of whether they're in first or second. Like we said, Germany plays Korea. They'll be out there for a win. As Mexico, Sweden has to go for the win because that's how they stay alive in this tournament.
Mexico, just take the L, guys. Just take the
No.
L.
No,
Let
because all of a sudden, if Germany wins big, Sweden wins big, Mexico's out, bro. It's not that kind of setup.
It's one of those tough ones.
They have to go out with the same mentality of being El Tri.
Damn, man.
And just go out for the win. Go 9 points. Go undefeated in this group. Just to let these bitches know.
The only player I'm happy for in Germany is Marco Reus. This guy's been struggling with injuries his entire career, pretty much.
Goal and assist.
Getting himself a goal and assist.
Well, the assist is kind of, you rolled it out to him.
Yeah.
Oh, no, sorry, no, you stopped it. He got the ball rolled out to him. You know what I did was stop it.
Kind of shady.
Easy
but
assist.
Put me out there. I can get an assist. I'd go for the shot.
No, but that goal is definitely top 3 World Cup goals so far. As far as pretty. You know what I mean?
But just clutch. Having the calm demeanor, because there's times in a moment like that you'll see managers screaming at the players. With Germany, Jurgen Loh just lets them do their things. You have Toni Kroos, Marco Reus on the ball.
It's the robot.
You know what? Just do your thing. If you talk, you'll probably mess him up.
That's why he's the second best center midfielder in the world. Toni
It's the
Kroos.
same reason you don't see Pep out there screaming. You know what I mean? Like, once they know the system, like, dude, you got 70% possession. You're shooting everywhere. You're creating chances. Like, what more could he yell? Like,
honestly, yeah. What could Yogi
he
Low
say?
tell Toni Kroos about the attacking third? Because this is something I actually just learned this weekend. Is like Zinedine Zidane can tell certain players, like, no, when this happens, this is how you need to attack. These are the decisions you need to make. What has Yogi Low done in his playing career to where he can tell Toni Kroos, okay, now do this, now do that? Tactically, he can set you up, right? From defensively, but this is how we're going to build out the back.
He can give you 75% possession.
Once it gets into that final third, you do you. You're better. You can do things that I could never do as a player. And so who am I to tell you what to do? And you have to have that little bit of humility as a manager, and I think the top managers all have that.
Pep has it.
Yeah.
Pep has it. As much as we say he's an offensive coach, blah, 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 he puts you in the team's final third, but on reset it, once you get to the final third.
What's Diego Simeone going to tell Antoine Griezmann? Diego Simeone's a great player, great defender, so he could go in on Koke and these guys in central midfield.
And that's what he focuses on.
Yeah, but what are you telling Diego Costa? Yeah, no, you need to turn him like this and do... Nah, man. You didn't play it. You weren't doing what I was doing. You know what I mean? So
for sure, man.
Yeah, take it with a grain of salt.
Next group.
So, Huss, your 12-year-old girls, just sit back. Let them do what they do. Because you were never about that life.
Group G.
That was a good one, Tom. That was a good one.
Group G, going at it today/tomorrow, depending when you're listening to this podcast. England, Belgium, Tunisia, Panama, 6-6-0-0. You got Tunisia and Panama playing each other on match day 3, the battle of the bums. And you got England.
Nobody watching that game.
Shots fired.
Lowest
And you got
game.
England versus
Negative
Belgium.
12 goal differential between them.
Jesus.
Unbelievable. England and Belgium, speaking of goal difference, tied on goal difference, tied on goals for, tied on goals against. The tiebreaker is going to be who wins this game, who finishes in top. I don't know what the tiebreaker is.
Sticking with your boys? Sticking with your boys? The waffles?
Look, this is the game I was least and most looking forward to. England, dude, I grew up watching this league since 92, 93 is my first memories of the league when Fergie jumped in. But Belgium, man, I've been saying there's a golden generation. They came to the Euros. They struggled. The 2014 World Cup, they had these players. They struggled.
Young.
Now they have a couple of Champions League winners in this team. They got the Liga winners. They got, guys who know what it takes over 38 games to put something together.
Yo.
And in this tournament, they got the main man who I doubted early in his career, and to Tom and Al's credit, I'm going to give credit where it's due. I was like, is this dude about his life? He made the 2014-15 PFC suspect team. Dude, this guy is about this life. He's leading the World Cup tied in first with Golden Boot because CR7 scored.
And we got to give Huss credit for that, at least for the time being, because I thought you were a little bit off your rocker, suggesting that Lukaku would finish as the Golden Boot winner. Now that I look at the group with Tunisia and Panama, he almost scored a hat-trick.
In both games. He scored a double brace.
So, look, man, Huss, that's a good call right there.
Absolutely, man. But you know who else scored a double brace, if I'm not mistaken? Harry Kane. Here's the question, man. So Lukaku went off injured in the game against Tunisia.
Tunisia, sorry.
You obviously want to go into first place, or is it G versus H? But does it really matter because they're in Group G. Group H is Japan, Senegal, Colombia. Poland's knocked out. You want to go into first, but you could either play Japan, Senegal, Colombia. Probably Colombia is the one you want to avoid. But do you rest Lukaku? Bring on Batshuayi, who's capable. He's not the same. He looked good, very wasteful, which was his critique at Chelsea. Very wasteful, but he does look good. He absolutely looks good. I think he should stay in Dortmund. But do you start him and try to go for those 9 points? Or do you rest him and hope that, you avoid Colombia some way, somehow, and that the 11 on the field, including De Bruyne, Hazard, Mertens,
Live it on a prayer.
Go in? What do you think?
I'm saying you start Batman.
Rest Lukaku.
Not necessarily. Introduce him in the 60th.
Okay.
Right? So it's one of those where you want to play him
rhythm.
30 minutes exactly. But he's not 100%. And, I mean, no one's 100% at this point. But I don't even know if he's 80%.
He came off injured. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so,
that's what
they're
I'm
not
saying.
saying
It's
he's
bad.
out for the match day 3, but, it wasn't like, oh, he's tired, let's get him off.
But
His
what it
ankle
is
was killing
if
him.
this was a knockout stage game, he's most likely going to play.
Oh, for sure. No. Knockout, that's what I'm saying. Match day 3, the specific implications is that you're not trying to avoid Brazil. You're not trying to avoid Argentina. You're avoiding Japan, Colombia, or Senegal, which, on paper, obviously, this is not a paper World Cup.
To me, Belgium have enough firepower
Agreed.
to unsettle the English defense in their midfield. Now, Lukaku has been in insane form, bro. He has more goals than he does appearances in the last 10 games for Belgium. So,
Unbelievable.
honestly, dude, if I'm if I'm Martinez, I'm gonna start Lukaku.
Cool.
I'm starting him too because, like you say, the form.
But I want Batshuayi to start.
One thing I was truly nervous about when we talked about Salah in the past about getting hurt, when he came back, I was really nervous. Is he going to continue that form? I have no idea. Same thing. If you're going to take him out, he might just get into a weird funk. Also, you want to beat England. You want to set the tone because you don't want England going into the round of 16 with confidence because they've already have this full big wave of confidence. Oh, we're bringing it home. We're bringing the cup home.
It's coming home.
#,
it's coming home.
And you know what? If they lose, if Belgium lose to England with Lukaku, at least they can say, "Oh, we're banged up a little bit. Hopefully, we recover." If they don't start Lukaku and lose, I guess you could use that as another scapegoat. But I don't see you walking away happy if England win and you still get through because you want to beat England, calm them down.
Dude, for me, the team that would be most affected by a loss would be England. Belgium, I think, just has too much quality. Guys like De Bruyne who can pull it out of nowhere. Like we said, Mertens with that wonder goal. That's one of the top 5 goals, as we were discussing.
Yeah, that was nasty.
But that's actually another reason why Lukaku's going to do well in this tournament. Because let's say United or an Everton or West Brom or Chelsea, where if he didn't score, there were times that other people wouldn't score. If he didn't have Mertens score one of those goals, I think that some sort of doubt starts to play with his head.
And we've seen it at United. He's got 16 goals, which is absolutely impressive. Again, he was in the top 6 for best debuts from a forward at United. And to some people, that means nothing. But he's in the class of Ruud van Nistelrooy, that kind of level. And he came from Everton. And he came when United is still in this weird funk. It's not the Fergie era. So this kid has promise.
It was something like 7 goals in 8 games or something. It was ridiculous.
Absolutely unbelievable. But like you said, man, if Mertens doesn't get that goal, there is that weird funk about him. But again, De Bruyne could have got it. He's got some finishing in him. Hazard, dude. Notice we haven't even brought up Hazard. He got a goal in this game, but
got 2.
He's a guy who hasn't woken up, until now. He's finally awake. So now you got to somehow game plan Hazard, game plan De Bruyne, game plan
playing
Lukaku.
A lot deeper as well.
Yeah, because again, it's the World Cup, man. You don't need to take those bombs, especially when you got a front 3 that can. But did you see win the game
difference?
On their own.
He started deep in the 5-2 game against Tunisia, but then when he pushed them forward, the difference De Bruyne was making, was much better at that attack and midfield
100%. But once you get that first goal, then you can take that risk. You know what I mean? But the hard thing about this Belgium team is that again, it's a golden generation. They've never done this before, so. I think the tactics of Martinez, especially at Everton, he got burned for being too offensive. Is like, look, we're going to attack, guys, but let's not get carried away. De Bruyne, we know you can pull strings at that 10 spot and score goals from there, but we need your help in midfield. Sure, we got Witsel in there covering and stuff, but we need to keep our shape and make sure we don't give up cheap goals. Unfortunately for them, they've given up 2 cheap goals against Tunisia, man. And that, for me, shows a bit of shakiness.
It does.
England, on the other side as well, have given up 2 cheap goals.
One to Panama, too.
Exactly. Very cheap goals. So, like, both these teams are, quote-unquote, suspect in the back. The difference is Belgium still have Vincent Kompany, you know what I mean, who hasn't played yet. Is he healthy, or will he be healthy enough to participate in this World Cup? I'm not sure, but Martinez said he's bringing him to make him one of those 23 guys because of what he brings in that locker room, because of the leadership. And if he miraculously gets healthy, at least they have that plug-in. If England, who are they going to plug in? You know what I mean? Gary Cahill, the guy who's had a bit of a shaky season. It's going to be tricky for England. So that's what I'm saying. If England lose this game, for them, there's a lot more to recover, especially with their media as well.
And they have a young team. This English team is young, so their mentality is definitely not. I don't think it's as strong as the Belgium's mentality.
Yeah.
You also have a Thierry Henry there.
This is
to
England's
kinda
new
lean on.
golden coming through. Like that first year
Yeah.
where everyone's young. Yeah, agreed.
And, dude, for me, the guy who has the most to gain in terms of a transfer between both of these teams is Dedrick Boyata, who's been at the heart of the Belgium defense.
He's the company.
He's been a problem, dude. He's 27 years old, playing for Celtic. But I think, man, after this World Cup,
He's going
a
somewhere.
lot of people are going to be looking at him like, all right, this guy can hold it down for us in the middle
Dude,
of
and
the
he,
defense.
like I said, he's pulling that company role, playing in the center of the center back positions, and he's been pulled out, and he's had to go out and make tackles and take people on one-on-one,
Yep.
you know, defensively. So, like, and
Oh,
he's
wow.
done the job, dude. He's done the job. In this game, though, I gotta say, man, Vertonghen, he's so quietly good, this guy. This is a
He's
guy I
nasty.
think is quietly underrated because at Tottenham, again, it's more of a team defense, a system defense versus individuals. But this guy,
He's the best defender in this back three.
Toby has been out, you know, the whole of last season, basically. And Toby, I think, before would have been the best out of these 3.
Yeah.
But he's been shaky as hell.
Yep.
But Vertonghen has quietly done it for Tottenham all year, the last 3 years, and now comes into this World Cup. Makes a last man tackle as well. Like,
Problem.
dude is an absolute. And the best part about him, he's got a sweet left foot where he can start a counterattack, bombing it forward to the different attackers of
Natural lefty,
Belgium,
man.
man. He's awesome, man. He's awesome.
So we talked about what would happen if they drew, because they have the same amount of everything. That'd be England and Belgium. It's going slow, but sporting news. So basically, the summarization of all the points systems on how the team advances. It's the highest number of points, goal differential, goals scored, points obtained in the group games between teams conceded, goal differential from games involving teams conceded, number of goals scored in games between teams conceded and concerned, fair play points, and then finally drawing of lots by FIFA. So right now, they would probably come down to fair play system. And what that means is, for the fair play system, the team with the greatest number of fair play points is ranked higher. Only one of the following deductions are applied to a single player in a game, such as a yellow card bringing the team down by a deduction of -1, indirect red, which would be second yellow, would be -3, direct red would be -4, and a yellow card plus a direct red card is a deduction of -5. So whoever has the most points out of that. So let's say they're all the same, then FIFA has to basically just pull them out of a hat.
Dude, I
Should
mean
be
that
head
would.
to head.
I hope it would be out of a hat. Because
Well,
both teams are
well,
going
more or
through,
less.
you know what I mean? So like, it's not like it's just who's
Should
in
be
first,
rock,
the
paper,
second.
scissors between captains.
I would love that, man.
That's
Harry
what it
Kane
is.
out there trying to rock
With
paper
Hazard.
scissors, man. But yeah, man. There wasn't much to this game. They're playing Tunisia. No disrespect to Tunisia, but we always knew Belgium was gonna take this one, especially after they got that first one. I was like, all right, this looks like 5 or 6.
I like the yellow kits. Yellow kits are fresh, man.
They're so fresh,
I
man.
like those.
Absolutely fresh. But like you said, Hazard gets himself a brace. Class goal. He looks like he's waking up just in time. He took 1.5 games straight up napping. But good to see him waking up. On the other side, man, England, anything you can do, I can do better, man. 6-1 against Panama. This was another game where they came out fire, just like they did against Tunisia. Except the difference this time, the goal fell early with the set piece. Again,
Johnny
man,
Stones.
England's set pieces, it's the Premier League, bro. It has to be the Premier League where they are getting held the most I've ever seen. And they're not the biggest team. Sure, you got Maguire, Kane and stuff. Like, there are some big players. But the way they're getting held, it's not even competitive. There's a way to hold someone without making it so obvious to the ref. And here they get a PK again for the wrestling match. I guess Panama didn't study the Tunisia tape.
You know what happened with Panama? At first, they didn't mark anyone. John Stones was wide open. No one near him.
No, we're going to be
like,
clean.
okay, now we're holding everybody. Nobody's getting
Dude,
open
there was
now.
so many memes about Maguire. Literally, in one camera shot, you see Maguire getting rugby tackled and Harry Kane. Literally, guys aren't facing
That's
the
not
ball.
even the
just
PK they
bear hug.
called. They called one on John Stones.
Exactly,
It's
dude.
like, come on, man.
Dude, Tunisia did it all game. Finally had one called against them. Panama, like you said, try to be all honest. And like, yo, fuck this honesty. It's overrated, man.
Yo, Harry Kane, that's how you take a PK. Ladies and gentlemen,
Class.
that's how you take a PK.
No stutter.
Smashed it. Top left. Look, I agree with
Side
the no.
foot.
I agree with the no stutter because you know what? The Egyptian goalie who saved that penalty kick, a stutter actually gives goalies more time to creep up off their line. And that, I think, is the main difference. If you stutter, now the goalie's on his toes, the ref's going to look at the goalie and give him more of an excuse to step off of his line.
It's also generating power. It's just a fact. You generate more power from a run-up than you do a one-step or a two-step. So when you stutter, and the stutter is there to play mind games, which means you're taking your mind off where you're putting that ball. Now you're hoping the goalie is leaning one way. You're trying to read him. And when a stutter goes in, it looks class. Neymar, when he scores a penalty, he literally rolls it, or Hazard, 2 miles an hour one side, and the goalie's like, diving the other way. So it looks great, but the problem is when it gets saved, it's horrendous. So I've always been to the school of top cheese penalty is unsavable.
Smash it.
Side netting.
Yeah, he went
Side netting,
same
James
side
Milner.
every time.
unsavable, dude. And he did it twice in the same spot, just to disrespect that goal. He's like, I have my technique. You bring your saves.
Yeah, you know where I'm going.
Exact. And side foot is the most important part. It's not about putting your laces through it.
Yeah, man.
Accuracy.
And then, they had three players that got goals, another 3 players that got assists. So it's a well-rounded affair. So as much as you want to say Harry Kane got the 3 goals and the 6th one, I mean, Lingard got the goal, Stones got 2.
Lingard's
then
goal was
Lingard got
nice.
the goal. That's another top 5.
And then you got Sterling, Loftus-Cheek, and Trippier all again assists. So it's a well-rounded effort by the entire team. And Loftus-Cheek got a yellow card. Ooh, England has 2 yellow cards and Belgium has 3. So that
There's 1 yellow card.
And a
1-1 draw. And we're seeing lots, dude.
come on. No. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because fair play
Yeah, be
points would be
one for
tied.
England, yeah.
1 for England, none for Belgium.
Yeah.
1-1 tie, 0-0 tie. Actually, I'm hoping for like a 4-4 tie, just to make
See
it
what's
exciting
going
at
on.
least, you know.
Look, man, for me, Jesse Lingard
For me,
has been a great surprise. I don't know if it was
Is
a
he a
surprise, but no, he's been it's not a surprise. I don't know what to call him, but it's just
a revelation. It's
That-
finally
that's a
he
little
showed
bit-
it.
yeah,
he
he-
showed it on the big. There was
Exactly.
always a bit of a but is he? But
I
is
was
he?
expecting, and not necessarily just end product, but just how he's been playing. Even the first game, England struggled with their finishing.
Dude, he
but
could have had a hat trick in the first 20 minutes.
he was everywhere.
Yeah.
He was the guy who kind of gets them going.
Yeah.
I was expecting Raheem Sterling to be that guy.
Dude,
Raheem
What's
Sterling,
going on with him, huh?
he hasn't been
Long
playing
season?
well.
bring him up.
Maybe it's the legs,
Yeah.
but yeah, that header.
He's
He
not
should have
taking
scored.
people on. Like, he is, but not in the way we've seen him at City. Him and Sané are just
And
so problematic.
It's a different role for him, right? So now he's kind of playing as a second striker to
True.
Harry Kane.
True.
So his versatility is good. He can play in that center forward or that striker role, but just on the ball, he's not a problem. I see every time Lingard touches it, I'm like, shit, something's happening.
The Messi effect. He's too far in. Keep him out wide. Let him go
could be
1v1.
it,
Use
man,
his
the
speed.
isolation
Let him
out
get
there.
in behind.
I don't
Could be
like you using Messi with that one, but I agree with your point.
Yeah,
Raheem should be
yeah,
wider.
yeah.
Raheem
You know
should
who
be
should
wider.
be in, and unfortunately, you probably won't because of seniority. Give this kid Rashford a chance. Give this kid Rashford. Take Sterling out, not because he's been bad, but just
You
give
don't do
this
it
kid
against
in this
Belgium, dog.
dog. This game is quote unquote meaningless. Not meaningless, but like the stakes aren't as high.
Just
If you
don't get a
put
yellow
Rashford
card.
in-
They're pretty high, man.
if you don't put Rashford in now, you're not gonna put him in the knockout
You won't,
stage.
unless someone gets hurt.
Exactly.
That's what he's at. He's a reserve.
Dude,
He's a reserve.
he's a guy who can take that Boyata boy, fucking show him something.
Might
Look,
need to hit the
he
weight
did it.
room,
Look,
dog.
depends
Might
on the
need to hit
score.
weight
Weight room, man, it's about that ghostly elastico. There's
Hey,
no weight room about an elastico.
Depending on the
There is.
score of the game, I could totally see Rashford getting in because look, we had
Nah, I'm talking
Delph
start.
and I was gonna say because we had Delph and Rose coming off the bench for England in this against Panama. Because look, if they go down a goal, yeah, Vardy might go in or Rashford. I do
Vardy.
like Rashford coming off the bench,
I like
especially.
Vardy.
Dude, damn, bro, I'm so sad you said that. Vardy's absolutely useless for England. Absolutely useless for England.
There's just no confidence in him.
Call it confidence. I call it the system. Vardy is a one-dimensional player. We've seen us finishing.
Hit the ball long, chase
hit
after
long,
it, score a goal.
chase it, work hard, maybe lay it off to someone. England is too joga for that. You know what I mean? England has guys who have foot skills, who pass and move. And Kane is not the best dribbler, but Kane can receive the ball, lay it off to Lingard, lay it off to Sterling, get people involved. Vardy has none of that in his game. He's
You're
very
missing
one-dimensional.
the-
He's still a good player, but for this England squad, I think they lose a lot when
You're
he's
missing
on
a
the
big
pitch.
thing though, because when Vardy's playing for Leicester, he has another striker named as Okazaki, whose work rate is like 110%, working. They might get a missed ball. He's already on the transition, running the other way. They slip it through, where he almost has to be the one running back, providing for Harry Kane in a
That's
way.
it.
He's not the number one guy.
it.
Vardy's gonna get you the odd goal though. That's
That's
what
the
I like
thing.
about
Look,
him.
if you're
More so
desperate-
than Rashford.
If you're desperate, you know, you're down in a knockout stage, yeah, that's when Vardy comes in. But, like, if you're up in a game, keep Vardy on the bench.
You know,
He's a situational
There's no
player.
finesse about Vardy's game.
Nothing.
There's no finesse.
But I could see, oh my goodness, I could see Rashford before Vardy taking the ball up the line, just doing a move, going up the goal line, passing the ball across, having Harry Kane just flick it in.
Absolute.
That's where I think Rashford's very skilled.
I could see Jordan Henderson just booting it long, and then Vardy.
No, I
chasing
could
it
see him
down.
booting along into the net, Courtois, 2 years ago, top right corner.
Ate him up. Dude, that's my boy.
Don't remember that.
Joe
You don't?
Hendo.
Okay, whatever. It was
Nah,
a
I
great
don't.
goal.
No, I don't.
Dude, Dele Alli injured for this
You
game.
score
Didn't
once
see
every 5
time.
years.
It's worth
He's
it,
a
though.
D-mid. It's worth it.
Should have scored against
Dude.
Panama.
Yeah, he should have.
Yeah, at least he
Should've
didn't get
scored
red cards like
against Panama
Xhaka.
and Tunisia as well. He's had shots. Yeah, that's true. I like that.
Xhaka's
I like that.
He wins on
jab
fair play points versus Xhaka.
Yeah, you have fair play. Pussy ass fair play.
Dude,
Fair
I
I
think
was-
this team flows better without Dele Alli. You're losing magic in that Dele Alli has these freaking touches, man, especially that chemistry with Harry Kane. But again, I think I saw it this season. He disappears for chunks of the game, and he disappeared against Tunisia in that first game. The problem is that this dude is just so special.
It's
You
his
kind of
first
have
World
to
Cup
have him
game,
on.
man. It's his first. I don't.
Agreed.
Doesn't
But
matter if it's
Lingard, what
Tunisia,
about
it's
Lingard? That's his first World Cup too. You know what I mean? Like starting, and Lingard is about this life. You know what I mean? Like
And Lingard-
that's your number 10.
Lingard's
the
been
team.
through it more mentally. Like,
Agreed.
you know what I
and
mean?
United,
Like he's been
for
in
sure.
tougher positions. People
sure.
have always doubted Lingard. Even
For
Bobby,
sure.
it was Bobby Robson came out and be like, I didn't think Jesse Lingard would make it. He proved me wrong. Like he's always been that underdog kind of guy. So when he gets his moment, look, and there is a pressure to being an underdog because people expect you to fail. But he's Rose and Sean Dele Alli. People expect you to win. You're the favorite. So when you're a younger player, you've kind of
It's Pogba.
yeah, you've kind of always been in the spotlight. He does work at was it MK Dons, comes to Tottenham, and he's absolutely killing it.
Liverpool fan, should
Now
have picked him
now
up.
you're thrusted into the English team. You're like, okay, Dele is gonna do work, and then you don't.
That's what I'm saying. Like I'm not saying. I'm saying
I agree
he's
with you
not
that this
pro-
team flows better without Dele.
Yeah, like
does.
it's just there's something that it's not to crap.
Well, that's the
I
thing.
love
That's what I was
Loftus,
gonna
man.
say. Look,
He
Dude.
needs to play.
Well, that-
all the time.
but that's the big difference. It has less to do with Dele Alli, more about Loftus-Cheek, because we talked about him in the first match, where when he came on, things changed.
Yep.
Now, what's the only change that they made between game 1 and game 2? Taking Ali off and putting Loftus-Cheek on. This guy, he earned his spot. Let Ali have to. I put both his names together. I did.
Dele Shaw.
I put his
Del High
names
India.
together. Dele Ali,
Dele
make
Dele.
him work and
Dele.
win his position
Dele.
back. Because
what I'm
Loftus-Cheek
saying,
has it right now.
Keep Dele on the bench. We know he's class. We know in the next World Cup he's gonna be that dude about this life.
He can
And-
come in late. 70 minutes in, I could
Look,
see
yeah.
him getting like a toe poke as the ball's going over the
a
top.
Scramble him, bring him and Vardy on.
Especially if it's a physical game.
And
the
the
difference-
difference. Danny Welbeck on. That's who's got to.
Who? Is he even on the team?
The difference
He's player number 14
Yeah,
on
Thierry
the subs out of
Henry's
15.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
14 out of 15 on the sub list.
Who's 15?
Cahill.
Yeah.
Not looking like
Yeah,
he's going to get on the
captain.
field either.
Yeah.
They
Dude,
might
the
as well
difference-
drive the bus.
Yeah, shout
Oh,
out
I
to
didn't
himself.
mean to do that.
Yeah, you did.
Not really didn't.
Yeah, I know you did.
Dude, the difference with Loftus-Cheek too,
When it's all said and done.
man, he's got so much silk about him. When I watched him in friendlies, that friendly where Rashford scored that stunner goal, he can shield the ball, so he's got the body. He's got the silkiest touch when he wants it. He can take you on, get around you, and off he goes.
Ping from distance.
Ping from distance. This dude has all the parts. I don't understand Chelsea, dude.
This is
And
what
actually,
they do.
no, time out.
You should
Time out.
understand him.
I understand Chelsea. This is brilliant. They sent this guy out. They said, hey, Premier League, develop this guy for us. This year, bring this kid into the fold. Sorry.
Are you serious?
Sorry, like the Napoli coach, not the Napoli
you
coach,
know who
the
you're
Lazio
dealing
coach
with?
is coming over. Dude. And
Do
if
you
they
know who
don't,
you're
I mean,
dealing
look,
with?
if they don't, Everton wants him. Palace obviously wants to keep him, and I think Spurs is now looking at him as well. Look, it's not a problem if they do. I don't give a fuck about Chelsea, but what I'm saying is
One bad game,
Abramovich,
he's on the bench.
this is the dude. Oh, for who, man? You're going to have Denny Drinks out there trying to pull these strings? He's not
Dude.
about this life. Put this guy next to... Let's go.
Just looking up how old Ruben Loftus-Cheek is.
He's
He's
a
22 years old.
He's a kid.
Which means too young for Chelsea. That means they will ruin your career. He needs to learn. Chelsea doesn't. They don't play guys this age.
Who's the guy? Bakayoko.
23 now.
Oh, okay, I was off by 1 year.
Yeah,
But-
that,
but
that
the-
was that's been
but-
that's been my limit.
But again, Loftus-Cheek
And what-
looks like he has more.
What has Bakayoko been doing this year? He had a shit year.
That's what I'm saying. Where Loftus-Cheek
Stage
looks
is
like
too
he's
big.
about it. Where put him next to Fabregas with Conte behind him, it looks like he's going to bring more energy to the
Yeah, man.
game because he is more
Look,
offensive flair than
we're
Bakayoko
not
does.
saying
I
they
think.
are,
I
Tom.
know you guys have good intentions. I know your hearts are good. Chelsea is evil when it comes to youth players. They ruin people's careers. Leave. Go, or stay at Palace. Whatever you do, don't go back to Chelsea expecting to play. If you go back to Chelsea, go back at 25 years old when you're certified and you can come in, be a Frankie Lamps, and continue and run away
It's
with
2
it.
years of loans. Keep going out, bro.
That's
keep
fine.
Going out
Then
on
keep
loans.
going on loan.
Yeah.
But don't go back to Chelsea and try fight for your place because now you're not getting any first team football.
Dude, watch this guy fight and get it. Just all of a sudden flip
All right,
everyone's
break
head.
the mold then. I hope he breaks the mold for his sake.
Yeah, man,
but
he's looking pretty, man.
it's not the club,
I'm
man.
hoping
I
he
gotta
leaves.
say, I'm proud of Pickford, man. I had doubts. I still do have doubts. I think this is the weakest position in the whole English team, the goalkeeper, which is not what we're used to the last few decades. But man, this kid showing he can do the job when he needs to. Save the breakaway, use the De Gea method, standing tall, letting the ball hit off his chest, doing the drop knee tactic.
I thought you were about to say hit off his love handles.
He's got love handles, man. 5 minutes after he retires, he's gonna be fat.
He's going to do the Wayne Rooney.
He's got nice feet too, man. He's absolutely got nice feet about him, which is why he started over Butland and who's the other guy? The other
Pope.
goalie, Pope. Oh, jeez, Pope is the most Cinderella story I've ever heard.
Forster, all those
Yeah,
guys.
all those dudes, man. So I'm just happy for Pickford. Wanted to give him a shout out before things turn ugly on him, if they turn ugly on him.
You know what? Another solid game by Maguire as well. Look, I mean, Stones had a really good game. Walker had a good game. But again, it's Maguire
dude.
who is a sleeper still.
Breaking
We're-
out.
If he stays at Leicester for one more year, I don't know what teams are thinking. Spend the money for this guy.
Nah, man.
Take that chance.
Maguire, stay at Leicester.
But guess
You're
what?
gonna play 38 games. Dude, the ability he has is not a fluke. It's not like he's just hot. It's all the pieces. Recovery, positioning, a little bit of feet. I
What do you
still
think
think
his price
his feet
is?
are too big.
42 mil.
It's gonna go up.
It's probably 50.
It's
Look,
going
it's
up.
gonna
probably
go up.
50.
After
probably
this
is.
World Cup, it's going up.
But like, where's he gonna go? Right? Picture
Liverpool.
all the club, dude.
Maguire and Van Dijk?
Yo.
What about that?
Dude,
Yo.
I know.
for Maguire,
Yo.
too early. Too early.
Too early?
for Maguire. Too early.
For
I think it's a
Lovren-
risk.
It's
It's
a
a
risk.
definite risk.
Absolutely.
But for Matip, it's
high
too
risk,
late.
high reward is what it
Too
is.
many people on Liverpool. It's too late for, so bring him in.
Nah, bro. Look, for Liverpool, yes. I agree. For Maguire, if I'm his agent, dude, another year. Get that year under your belt at Leicester. They just brought in Johnny Evans to help you out, so it's not going to be tired as
One more year, I bet he goes to Tottenham.
Maybe, because
Because
Toby's out.
that's what I'm saying.
And Tottenham builds defenders. Like, Tottenham's a team where he'll actually benefit. Liverpool, the defenders are there to plug a hole. It's not a defensive system. It's not a defensive focus.
Which
Or
is why
individually,
need
you don't
defensive
develop.
Savages.
Agreed, but I'm saying individually. Liverpool, yes. Sign Maguire. Maguire, don't go to Liverpool. Save yourself one more year, dude. Get that development.
Actually, I like Huss's call on
Yeah,
that one.
development
I
for
like
where?
that one.
He's going to develop that much.
He's going to go to Chelsea.
He's going to develop that much at Leicester.
United.
I think he'd develop more at Liverpool than he could because look at Klopp and young players.
No, center backs. He doesn't
develop from the stage that he'll be playing in Champions League. So he'll be playing at the highest level. So even if he struggles that first year, going into that second year, this guy's 25 years old now.
Same age as Virgil. And Virgil has the reins back there. He's basically taking orders. He doesn't have to really, per se, think, shall we say, because he doesn't have to command. He just does his job.
As soon as freaking Liverpool gets goals scored on him, everyone's going to look at you like you're a bum, even though it's not.
No, we'll still blame Lovren.
Hey, man, that's the pressure. That's the pressure that comes with playing with a big club.
Go to Leicester, then go to Tottenham. Pochettino will teach you how to defend. He's made Vertonghen a world-class
Unless if he's at Real Madrid.
Made Toby a world-class player. Dude, he's...
World-class is that's questionable.
Pochettino. Look, world-class moments then. Let's say that. World-class performances.
But again, for an English team, we talked about before, Maguire being English, it's huge right now to get English players on your team so you can go out and buy those foreign players.
Homegrown. For sure. Look, for Liverpool, if I'm a Liverpool businessman, I'm like, yeah, let's get Maguire. But, man, I still think it's Klopp doesn't focus enough on that back line, and I don't think he'll develop. I think it's a plug. It's just throwing a body back there. It's not necessarily teaching this dude how to play that position better. Who knows, though? Who knows? Like we said, England 6, Belgium 6. It's going to be a thriller in Manila for these teams. Group H, Japan sitting on top with 4 points. Senegal with 4. Colombia with 3. Oh, man, so happy to say this. Poland knocked out by the Colombians, man. This was a do-or-die game. Winner continues. Loser goes home. Robert Lewandowski. Always been suspicious of this guy. Hell of a quality player when he's on a quality team. But he's that dude that put him on a crappy team, put him on Huddersfield. Yes, he'll get you more goals probably than whatever striker's on Huddersfield right now. But is he that game-changing dude?
Well, in qualifying, he scored in practically every game.
Who'd they play against?
But well, I know that's
look at that group. Uzbekistan, dude, they put like 11.
Yeah, look, I've been on the same page as you. I am suspect of spending 100 and 120 million for this guy.
Lewandowski's a DC character. He's not a Marvel guy.
Boom, love that shot.
He's a DC guy.
He is.
DC character.
But you know what? I think a lot of us, we mentioned Poland going through. I'm very surprised they aren't going through.
Shit, I think I don't know if I did.
I had Colombia, then Poland, I believe.
Yeah, I think
I got it written down. I got it written down.
I showed no love to Senegal.
But I can tell you, I can tell you one thing though. I can tell you one thing. None of us had Japan leading the group at this stage.
No, and there won't be. And they won't be.
You know what though?
On the last match day, bro, they stole a game from Colombia because of that red card. If Colombia had,
you got sure. I got Senegal at 1 on mine, and Japan at 2 on my who scored.
You did?
Yep.
You had Japan going through?
No. I'm saying that's my current standings is Senegal sitting at the top of this group with Japan.
FIFA.com. FIFA.com has Japan on top. Okay. I think it's one of those tiebreakers because they're tied on goals for, goals against, and obviously goal difference. So I think
definitely
it
go
goes
with FIFA.
Down.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm pretty much an idiot. I told Al.
Yes, you are.
I should have picked Japan. I've already talked about him twice already. Tonight,
Okazaki.
I mean, top 5 best player in the world.
And Okazaki, bro, you see.
That's what I'm saying.
You see a slickness in this game.
Okazaki, dude.
Not letting the goalie recover off the crosses. The Japan-Senegal game, 2-2 game, and it was a crucial goal with Kaisuke Honda, who's Japan.
That's what I was just gonna say. I can't wait for this moment because we were talking about Mitsubishi, as Tiki knows him as him. Was it Accord?
Suzuki Honda.
I thought you were talking about my boy Batman.
Yeah, Robin. Yeah, I called him Suzuki Honda, and Tom proceeded to crucify me for that one.
The Civic.
I mean, this dude, Mitsubishi Lancer.
Close enough. No, dude. So Japan had a tumultuous approach to the World Cup. I think they fired their coach in April because like the team chemistry, that he just didn't have the team on his side, and he didn't want to bring any of the veterans. So the Japanese FA fired the previous coach, brought in this guy who then brings in Honda, who comes on, dude, and scores the tying goal in the World Cup just to justify that move by the Japanese FA. So very happy, always happy to see these old tired dogs coming into this young man's league or young man's tournament and doing work. Miroslav Klose was one of those dudes.
Mane getting himself a fortunate goal as well. Keeper just basically punching the ball into his knee.
What was that about, dude? I've never seen a
shitty
punch
goalie.
like that. And even if it didn't hit Mane, he punched it like towards the top of the box. What was the plan there? Literally
terrible.
could have caught it the big stage, man.
It's
That
terrible.
that is big stage nerves. There's no need to punch that ball. Literally, he had to dive on the ground basically to punch it. It's not
so
like a
rough.
high ball. There was no one in front. Like,
So raw.
yeah, man, it was rough. It was rough to see when you're on a weaker team like Japan or like a mid-table team, quote unquote. Everything's got to be clean, man. Even opportunities, you can't be selfish because you're not going to have a lot of them. So you need to take those high percentage shots. I thought this game, man, Senegal. Look, I want to say they deserve to win, but the fighting spirit of the Japanese has to be acknowledged here, man.
It does.
Let me just say, I wanted Senegal to win.
Yeah.
But very, very proud when you see these teams that constantly go down. Even Japan against Colombia, they scored the goal to go up. Colombia ties it. They have the fight and the spirit, the blue samurai warrior in them to get that second goal to win the game. So very impressive fight by Japan.
And we have to remember that if Senegal and Colombia tie or draw, Japan can still miss out on the group. If they lose to Poland, and because Senegal and Colombia, Senegal will move on with 5 points, and then Colombia will have 4 points, but they'll have one more goal than Japan. So this game still does matter, even though they're leading the boys. But
That's crazy.
imagine if Colombia got through just on goal differential. I mean, I don't know. I sort of want to see.
That 3-0 win was huge.
I'm stuck on this one because I really want to see Senegal. I like Colombia, but I love the heart of Japan.
It's easy for me. Senegal, Colombia.
Me too.
Got to go
That's
through
where I'm
Japan.
at.
Look, Japan showed heart, but again, they're not a good team. It's going to be a gimme for England or Belgium, depending where they finish. England or Belgium have to take Senegal on or Japan
gonna be a
or
problem.
Colombia.
Senegal's
That's
going to be
a
handful.
matchup.
I think they're
Exactly.
the best African side at this World Cup.
Look, Nigeria just came out with a shout. That performance
Nigeria's
by
got
Nigeria
a
gave me a bit
shout,
of noise.
But I mean, from watching them, Nigeria's been way more inconsistent. The Senegalese team, every time I watch them, I'm just like,
yeah, look, I mean, to be fair, Senegal is undefeated since 2015 in competitive games. So what you're seeing is correct, 100%
Problem,
correct,
bro.
man. Absolutely.
absolute problems.
I always love to see an African team just absolutely dominating, using the physique as well. Nyang, that dude's going to be a problem, man. He's got the physique, just needs to put on a little bit more, muscle,
Got
grow
Idrissa
into
Gueye
it.
in midfield.
Mane,
Sadio Mane.
the X factor.
Yeah, come on, man. Then they got the another super fast dude on the right wing.
The SAR CARR.
Oh,
And then
my
they got
Uh,
the youngest African
Mali?
player
Is
to
it-
ever score. The right back. What an absolute joy of a goal that was.
I'm actually
Sorry.
I'm seeing a lot of because I follow
look it
Liverpool. I see a lot of rumors for Liverpool and a lot of people going after Liverpool saying sign this dude Sarr up because the speed of this dude. He's almost like a version of like a young Mane where he has skill that you can teach, but you can't teach this speed.
Yeah. I don't know how to pronounce it. Looks like Wagyu.
Wagyu.
Yeah, Wagyu. He's the guy.
Wagyu
19
beef.
years old. Youngest African player to score in the World Cup.
It's a nice goal. It's a pretty nice goal.
Yeah, roofed it, dude. Carpenter style. He's now getting dude, that's why I love the World Cup. You score a goal and you're young. All of a sudden you're getting linked with moves.
Everybody wants you.
Everyone wants you, dude. Why not? This is the biggest stage, this is the ultimate scouting camp, so. And like you said, the Senegalese team has been absolutely balling. Their manager, Aliou Cisse, has had this squad the whole time, too, since 2015. So it's not like, a golden generation. He's developed these kids, these youngsters.
That's what you need, man.
And you look at this team,
Continuity.
basically, the big name they have is Mane. You know what I mean? So everyone else kind of, it was
They got
fortunate.
sneaky names.
Now they have sneaky
They got
names. You know what I mean? In
sneaky names.
2015, these names weren't sneaky.
No, they
Idrissa
weren't.
wasn't sneaky. Ndai wasn't sneaky at number 6. He's a baller as well.
Then number 9 at Everton. No,
I think
what's his name again?
the two
Niang.
Yeah, Niang as well.
too is a goal scorer. He's a natural goal scorer. So I like
Yeah, man.
how this team's comprised.
I mean,
like
the
how they're put
two
together.
biggest names on Senegal are easily Mane and Koulibaly of Napoli.
Koulibaly.
Koulibaly, yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
Dude.
yeah.
Top to bottom.
And he chose
man.
Koulibaly chose Senegal over France, which I give him props for. Although to be fair, France is pretty hard to break into. I think he would have
would've
broken in,
broken
but
into that
you got
squad.
Titi, you got Kimpembe coming through, you got Varane. This is just too much back there.
What about Sane? Back. He's 27 years old. I mean, he plays for who does he play for? Was it Hanover? Was 96? Is that Hanover?
Yeah, Hanover 96.
Yeah, Hanover. Oh, yeah, Hanover. I could see someone making a push for him if he really keeps on going. And I'm not talking about a top team, but I could see like maybe an Everton for the fact that their defense is just like bonkers right now. And he just seems like a physical specimen.
Yeah, for sure, man. Absolutely. But the Senegalese team, man, looking good. I like that 3 teams are still playing for 2 spots here.
Group of death?
For me, this was my group of death. Man, because all these teams are evenly matched.
That's not
Poland finishing at the bottom is a shock to the world.
It's not a bad shot, but my group of death, Argentina's at the bottom. It shows you.
Yeah.
It shows you the muscle,
But
son.
Iceland is going to finish on the bottom,
Shows
and
you
we
the
all know
muscle.
on
We don't
match
know.
day
We
3.
don't know.
We don't
They haven't
I
melted
know.
yet.
I'll take a bet if you guys are still on
know.
that Viking boat. Remember, wooden ships sink, dude. We don't make ships out of wood anymore. All right? It's metal.
No, some people do.
Yeah, and they sink.
No, they don't sink. You just
I don't know.
Not all the time, but there's a reason why we upgraded that technology. It
You're
was
saying
flawed.
you're saying all the time.
I'm saying the Vikings are extinct.
no,
That's
they're
what
not
I'm saying.
extinct.
They're extinct. Where are the Vikings? There's
the
only
NFL
one island.
Then the
Yeah,
NFL.
yeah, they're playing
No,
offensive
those
and
are
defensive
NFL.
line.
Those aren't Vikings.
They made the playoffs.
Those
matter
are.
of
They're playing
you're
offensive
just-
line action.
You got.
fact. And they play, and you know what?
Yeah,
They got defense too.
They're doing
They got
strongest man
defense, too.
competitions.
You guys are
They're like-
disrespecting the Southern Cowboys, man. Those are the guys. Those are the
Nah,
Vikings,
world's
the
strongest
modern-day
man.
Vikings.
That's Iceland type of guys. They're the ones lifting
Only
these
because
boulders like
only
400
because
pounds
Africans-
onto
It's just the
Only
Congos,
because Africans are in
yeah.
Africa hunting, bro, trying to eat.
Congolese.
If those dudes were fed, yeah, the Congolese and the Nigerians and the Ghanaians were fed, it would show up to their world's strongest man, single hand those rocks. You know those
Oh,
rocks that they-
stop.
those round balls,
Don't underestimate,
bro. Bro, you see, we're
bro.
bro.
I mean,
Bro.
Oh, we're gonna get a bro
we
alert.
saw Nigeria versus
Fans
Iceland,
bro
right?
alert.
We saw Nigeria versus Iceland.
Have you ever seen the
these
strongest man
quote-unquote Vikings with the-
competitions?
Whoosh,
Iceland
whoosh, fuck out of here, fuck
Kinda-
out of here.
kind of reminds me of like the Deadliest Warrior type of thing where they did.
I hated that.
Remember that? Like
Yeah.
they did
like
Zaka
samurai
actually.
versus
How
a
did-
ninja.
No, they did like
That was
they did like
so-
ninja versus like Zaka Zulu. It was, oh no, it was,
Shaka Zulu,
it was
yeah.
like it was like Roman guy, Roman emperor.
Dude, the only way to tell is just look at
Roman
history,
soldier.
man. The Roman, obviously, the Greek hoplites were badass at some point. They ran the world. The Romans were badass at some point. They ran the world. The English, with the redcoats, were badass. They ran the world. Like, that's how you tell the history of this. The ninjas never had to fight the redcoats. We'll never know who was more badass.
well, ninjas.
How do we know, man? Can
Because they
ninjas
hide in the
dodge
woods.
bullets? But they don't
They hide in the
dodge
woods. That's how did America like
Ninja
get a huge
stars.
advantage in the
stars.
Revolutionary
That's
War?
so cute.
They didn't go line up in the middle. They
Hey,
hid in the
just to-
trees and the
again,
bushes.
It goes to
and
the technology. When you're buying self-defense for your house, are you buying ninja
Dude,
stars or
you
you
gotta
buying
look
guns?
at Jared Diamond.
No.
Guns,
Would you
germs,
rather-
and steel?
Would you rather have a musket or ninja stars?
Give me a
Ninja
musket.
stars?
So-
Wars were won with
So once
muskets,
you
not
shoot,
ninja stars.
once you shoot with a gun that has zero accuracy,
Huss. Who ran the
That's also
world?
the quarter.
Who ran the world? The people with the muskets or the people with the cute ninja stars? The people with the muskets.
Black powder.
wait,
They
wait,
wouldn't
wait.
even
Let,
line up
let's
on
let's
the
have this
black
conversation. Let's have the conversation in 50
Alright,
years
we're
with
like
China.
two-
China's
we're
gonna
like-
be taking over the world.
You are-
But you don't
that's
even
so
know when a
racist to
ninja's
assume they're
behind
gonna
you. You don't even know. They stab you in the
and you
neck.
can't dodge a bullet.
They dodge.
Did
Of course
Steven-
they are. You never seen
Did
Once Upon a
Steven
Time in China?
Seagal? Did Steven Seagal ever want to be a red coat? No,
Does
you always
Steven
want to be a ninja.
Seagal
He break
not
boom.
weigh 300 pounds.
Such a piece of shit.
Bruce Lee.
Steven
All right.
Seagal.
We would
Chuck
usually
Norris.
wrap this up, but we had some
Kareem
games
Abdul.
today, and we're going to run through them quick. Thank you for sticking with us. We know we're kissing 3 hours. For you old school hardcores, I'm sure you're celebrating this. We're showing you we still got the stamina to keep a quality discussion going.
I can go another 3.
There were match day 3 games today that kicked off, or as we record this, match day 3 games for both Group A and Group B. Uruguay versus Russia, Saudi Arabia versus Egypt, and in Group B, Iran versus Portugal, Spain versus Morocco. Kick it off real quick. Group A, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, nothing to play for, but Salah gets himself a nice goal, showing he can still do it.
Class. Should have had himself another one.
Absolutely. Side note, he's threatening to quit the Egyptian national team because before the World Cup, he was given an honorary citizenship by the Chechnyan president, who's, man, when it comes to Chechnya, there's always a lot of human rights issues. It's a country that's been torn by civil war and also regular war with Russia and the whole Eastern European mess. So a lot of Egyptians are unhappy that he was sort of being friendly towards them, similar to Ozil and Gundogan, and I forget the third player who was
Like
photographed
Turkey.
with the Turkish prime minister.
But again, with Salah, if you know anything about him, he's huge into trying to help people. So I wouldn't be surprised if he was trying to help, like, build a relationship.
I don't know. Either way, he's not taking photos with them because he loves that he kills people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, to be fair to Salah,
People
was just,
use
yeah.
people sometimes
And
too.
that's the accusation that the people defending Salah are saying that the Chechnyan president used him for not fame but
Publicity.
publicity. Yes,
Yeah.
for publicity. So
I hang with the cool
hopefully-
kids.
Salah, 26 years old, man. He's still got 2 more World Cups in him at minimum. If he takes care of his body, he could
He
probably squeeze
is
out
class.
a third. Absolute class.
There's no
I don't know
fluke
why,
that
man.
he scored that many goals. It's not a fluke.
That
Yeah,
touch
I
that
don't-
he had.
Look, I don't think so. Either way, I don't think I'll ever be this dude's fan. I don't know what it is.
The
I think,
timing of his runs is ridiculous.
No,
Too
he's
much like
brilliant.
Messi.
yeah, man, he's too quiet. He's too, like, doesn't smile much. Doesn't get
He
mad
smiles all the time.
much.
He smiles all the time.
No.
He's a
Okay,
happy
fair-
No.
guy.
The problem is that
Fair
when he's
enough.
smiling,
You know
he's
what it
usually
He's the
frowning.
nice guy.
Thank you.
Tiki doesn't like the nice
man.
guy.
No, he likes
needs
Pogba.
CR7.
Give me CR7,
He
Floyd
needs-
Mayweather, Torello, and
Which is why I'm
give me all
surprised
these.
Neymar. You don't fuck with
Nah,
Neymar
because
like
Neymar's
that.
soft as shit. Be hard. Be hard.
Be hard all the
Be
time.
hard. Say it with your chest. Neymar's
Man.
too soft, man. He's on the ground rolling around, which I don't mind. You know, he's playing that chess game, but nah,
Yeah,
man,
he's-
break
he's an
tackles, bro.
asshole.
But all in all, this is very disappointing for Egypt to not win a single game. To lose all 3 is a disappointment. I don't care whether you can say Salah got injured or not. This is a disappointment for Egypt because a lot of us, when they watched them in qualifiers, we did not think Saudi Arabia could beat them.
Hey, who predicted Uruguay and Russia in that order? And you motherfuckers looked at me funny.
Yeah.
You guys were on that Salah train. Salah,
was.
sit down with your bum ass.
But you know
shoulder.
what?
I had Egypt
Then-
winning, finishing first.
Yeah,
yeah, I forgot
you
about
guys
that.
jumped on that Pharaoh train.
Because Salah didn't play.
Well, I had
man.
Poland
With those
win first, I
pyramids,
think.
bro.
He scored though in both games. He scored.
You guys belong with those pyramids.
And,
just saying.
Well, with Uruguay, the number one stat that I have to say again this week is the goals against is 0. I know they're not playing a bit against the.
So negative, this team, but it's impressive.
Yeah, look, they got
they
5
scored
goals,
against.
which isn't great, but if you can keep teams to 0 goals,
For sure.
it worked for Atletico Madrid. I'm not saying they're going to win the World Cup,
They didn't
but
have
it can get them
Jimenez, too.
somewhere.
Jimenez was out injured this third game for them, so I think
man.
it'll be a welcome.
And your
return.
boy
Look,
got
it's
on the
bad.
stat sheet too with Cavani, so
course he
maybe he
did.
starts rolling.
Of course he did.
What do you mean? Of course he did.
That's what he does. He scores.
For sitters,
1 every 3 games.
he got
Does he score?
A sitter.
He scores.
Suarez
You
had
know who's
more.
more clinical?
Suarez.
The
Oh,
most.
see when Suarez misses the back post, everybody's it's okay. It's
No,
because he
Luis.
scores more.
No,
It's
no,
Luis.
the world
His
is
teeth.
shocked. No, the world is shocked when Suarez misses. When Cavani misses, it happens.
But he's
It
gonna get
happens.
it. He's gonna get his.
It happens. When
Better
Suarez
get
missed,
yours.
everyone was headlines like, "Whoa!"
Cavani's gonna get his.
No headlines when he misses, man.
Better get yours.
Cavani? He's not going to leave France because he knows he's not going to be doing
you.
much in other.
you. He's gotta
Well,
go to
maybe
Italy.
Germany. He could maybe do something in Germany.
For Bayern.
But
Or
Yeah, yeah.
Italy, like he's done before.
Italy.
Or England.
I
Not
could-
England.
I could see
Calm
because
down with your England.
physically he's
Calm
big for
down
Italy,
with your
the
England.
leagues just keep increasing.
Calm down with your England.
Man's clinical.
but the separation between
Not as clinical as the top
leagues is
strikers,
separating.
but he's still clinical. All right.
If you use your doctor, would you trust his clinicalness? You're seeing another. You're getting
not
another
even
reference.
putting spleens out.
You're seeing another doctor real quick. For
that's
just
not
another
true.
reference. Can I get? Do you mind if I see another doctor real quick?
He
No,
may
I
leave-
trust you.
No.
You're clinical.
Dr. Suarez.
It's just
Dr. Suarez,
He
please.
may leave a sponge in
Yeah.
there, but that's
Thank
also
you.
malpractice.
Thank
It's
you.
all
Wait,
good.
Wait, you said left leg? Oh. But you shoot with your right anyways, right?
Dude, shout out to Saudi Arabia, man.
Made him better.
Won the game late. Guys are out there doing backflips, not going through to the next round, just to show you a little bit of like the standards and the pressures that some of these countries face.
First goals they scored this tournament.
But good for Saudi, man. They absolutely get 3 points. Egypt's got to catch a wake up. They got to build around this team. Maybe take a little bit more reliance away from Neymar, from Salah, and start to put some pieces around him that can help him out.
They just have to ask themselves, how do we develop more Mohamed
Exactly.
Salahs? What did he do?
Or even El Nenes, you know what I mean? Like just solid guys playing in top leagues. Can't have Ali dudes out there representing, you know what I mean? As much as Ali's a dominant Egyptian team, it's just you need to get more talent into Europe.
Tom, are you happy with El Nene in this tournament?
Yeah, I mean, he played every game for them. He was okay. I mean, look, man, he doesn't play a glamorous role. He cleans up, and he's one of their better players. So, honestly, I wasn't expecting him to get any goals. I'm disappointed with the Egyptian team as a whole because I thought they would have at least managed to pull off one win.
One in a tie, huh?
Yeah, but
4 points.
El Nene, dude, for me, what is he, a 76 or 77 out of 100?
Yeah.
So you're asking
He's where
me,
he is, yeah.
like he's
Maybe
a
even
mediocre
70.
player to
Yeah.
slightly above average.
Yeah, he has good games. He can have a 9 out of 10, maybe 2-3 games in a row.
Yeah.
Then he's back to 6 out of 10.
But if you're playing a midfield and you're not surrounded with quality, it's a creative position. So if people aren't finishing, what do you want?
For sure, man. Group B, almost a scare here, man. Spain, Portugal limping, absolutely limping themselves into the round of 16. Portugal will play Uruguay. Russia will play Spain. Round of 16. But, man, Iran almost making a mess for CR7, Mr. Hattrick. We've all been on our knees for this dude, praising him.
The ref making a mess.
Ref making a bit of a
This
mess.
was
That
not
handball,
a PK.
I agree.
On Cedric.
On
It was
Cedric,
not a PK.
Natural
And
position.
This is my issue with the VAR. It takes this ref a minute and a half to decide to review it. Then he goes over to review it, and it takes another minute and a half for him to make the call.
You know what it is, Tom? It's the stage. For this one, it's the stage. I think the ref knew the stakes that were at hand. He knew the whole world was watching this. He knew he's making a call against CR7, the most popular player, outside of Messi, Neymar, one of the most popular players to ever exist. The moment got to this guy, and he was like, if I have to
kind of
take
soft
3
on
minutes.
CR7 too. Look, Iran deserved a penalty kick, but it was the foul. William Carvalho held a player in the box. That to me was an actual PK.
Pulled him, yep.
And Carlos Queiroz was going crazy on the sideline. Ref had to walk over, tell him to calm down. That to me was a legitimate one. This one felt like more of a bailout, more of like a pressure, because Iran had some PK shouts before. And then on the CR7 yellow card, when the player of one is interfering, he's obstructing Ronaldo from pressuring the goalkeeper. Ronaldo gets upset, whatever. He gets mad. He throws a slick elbow, and it's violent conduct. It's a red. So
The difference with that is that he doesn't quite make contact with the opponent's face. Anyone who
he makes contact with them, it's slick
it's not the elbow that makes contact.
It's not. He didn't pull it back and jerk it off. He attempted to rip and swim.
It was a rip
past
swim.
him, but you could tell
But that's-
CR7's intent was to hit the guy.
Look, if his intent was to hit him, he would have hit him.
He did hit him. He did make physical contact. He didn't.
It wasn't.
Obviously,
I don't think
he knows the world is watching. He's a smart professional soccer player.
Exactly.
He's not gonna cock it back and then
So
swing
that's the
through.
difference. That's what makes it a yellow, not a red.
That's not true.
That's for me. That's what makes it a yellow, not the red. The intent. It's like the 2-footed stud tackle we saw on Pick, right? Piqué. That should have been a red card. The 2-foot, he jumps in 2-foot onto a Moroccan player, doesn't make contact with the Moroccan player. The Moroccan player jumps. It's dangerous play. It's a yellow card. If he makes violent contact with him, it's a red card. That's the difference. So with CR7
contact,
nah, man,
it just
was the point of impact wasn't when he was ripping over. The point of impact came after he was over. He brushed him aggressively with the forearm. So the violent conduct would have been a push out. He went over his shoulder. For me, it was a yellow.
I
man.
like the fact that CR7 didn't get a red because then it would have ruined Portugal
for
for
me,
the
it's
next
not even
round.
about that.
But
it's not even about
I
that.
think again the ref just didn't have balls. I think the ref came to a stage where this was a different ref. One, it's not a PK on Cedric. I think that was very hard done.
Agreed.
PK on William Carvalho. And two, when I look at it, and I'm trying to be as objective as possible. I think it's a red on Ronaldo, and I think CR7. If that's a play on Iran, it's a red card.
I don't think so again, man, because he disguised
But because
it
it's
well.
CR7, the captain of Portugal, the most iconic player in the world, it's a yellow
Do you
card.
think it was kind of like a makeup call for that penalty, saying, look, I didn't give you a red card, so I'm going to kind of give them a little bit more extra edge on this penalty decision?
I think the makeup call came with the William Carvalho one, when there was pressure from Carlos Queiroz to give a PK
VAR.
for that one. That, to me, was a makeup call, not the yellow card to the PK.
And when we were watching the games, we had both games streaming.
Side by side.
And
picture.
It was me, Tiki, Kara. Toomey was he was there. He was here and there.
So, man,
but
I came back from a California flight.
But we're watching both games at the same time when both things of drama happened. when we were watching the Spain and Morocco. We'll get into that. But when we saw at the same time Portugal and Iran, and then not only that, right after the penalty, Iran had a legitimate chance. I don't know which player it was exactly, but he had the ball at the left side of the 6, and he went near post when he should have went across the goal, which is just
77.
That's basic. That's basic if you're a striker. Across the goal, because that's a tough save to make, and even if they make the save, they're pushing the ball out in front of the net. But I do have to say that Iranian goalie, that penalty save that they had in Cristiano, not for the fact that he got there, but there was no rebound. Come on, that's legitimate right there.
Kept them in the game.
In the moment. And not only that, I was mad at that goalkeeper because, is 9 minutes in or something? That goalkeeper and the defender collided. When the defender volleyed the ball out, then the goalkeeper ran to his leg, and then he got into his face. Like, I called. You could see him basically saying that I was talking, and then he got into his face. First things first, if I'm a center back and I'm doing all I possibly can to get the ball out of the box and protect the goalie, it's very loud in there. I'm not going to wait for thinking, oh, do I hear him? Do I not hear him? No, I'm trying to get the ball out. And if the goalkeeper gets and actually physically touches me, I'm kind of shutting off a bit. Like, I'm going to let someone hit you maybe for the fact that don't touch me like that.
Look.
No. I'm obviously not
holding grudges.
Look. That's not. That's not gonna. That's not how it's going to happen. Obviously, I'm going to react in a better way. But that's how I'm thinking already. I'm like, why are you getting in my face? I'm doing all I did. He made a good. The defender made a great play.
Look,
not if the goalie
not
was
if
talking.
the goalie.
You don't know, dude. It was so loud in there.
That's the trust. Look,
it was so loud.
Look,
you don't take.
You don't know how loud.
You don't think twice about that.
Dude,
if you don't know if you hear him, if you don't know if you hear him, you get that ball out.
It could be the big stage. Look, you know how soccer is, man. We protect our goalie. Our goalie's basically in charge of the defense. If you're blessed enough to have a goalie who has tactical awareness, why? Because he faces the whole field. He knows when there's someone at the back post. That's why you hear goalies yelling, away, keeper, clear, whatever, control, time. So when he yelled, I don't mind seeing that fire. It was a quick moment. It's the defender's role in that position to take that beating, not get butthurt, keep it moving.
If I'm the defender, I'm also saying, fuck off. It's safety first. I'm getting it out. They both have an argument, but for you to suggest that because
the issue with that is that opportunity that cleared could have been safely in the goalie's hands to build something. So that's why he's mad.
And that's the misunderstanding is,
exactly.
Look, I didn't
it's
hear
like
you.
Safety
the
first,
goalie has a right to be like, I gave it a shout.
And that's what I'm saying. The defender's role to be like, my bad, I didn't hear you. It's loud in here. Not fuck off.
Exactly.
Safety first.
Exactly.
Now you're creating an argument. You always take the beta role because the goalie's facing the field, and it's simple. If you really didn't hear him, say I didn't hear you, bro.
Yeah, but no, I played with goalies.
He didn't say that. That's why there was a back and forth.
I don't know what he said actually.
But there was a back and forth. If he said my bad, I didn't hear you, I don't think a reasonable human being would have pushed him.
Then the
at that
goalie's
point.
like, no, I gave it a shout. Like,
exactly.
Listen,
I think the center back is like, no, fuck that. You weren't going to get to it, or safety
don't
first.
Get in his face. Do not try to start that.
It's a man's game. It's fire.
No, I understand it's a man's game, but you have to respect the one that's willing to take basically a bullet for you in front of you.
But he's not. He could have caused that next attack that
that's
Portugal
a great
had
play by the defender. If you don't hear the goalie, if you don't hear that keeper, you get rid of that ball. I don't know if he did. He never said whether he did or not.
Exactly.
I'm going to assume he didn't because it was so loud in there.
Well, the goalie is assuming
he didn't tell that
did.
to the goalie.
The goalie's
you don't know.
Huss, based on the reaction, so okay,
some goalies are just stupid. Some goalies are just crazy.
Has he shown anything to say he's stupid in this whole tournament? Has he shown any unreasonableness?
But for him to flip out like that, you don't know.
Yes, means potentially the defender said something to out.
He probably said,
he apologize.
He probably said, get out of my way. I called for it. He's like, I didn't hear you. Fuck off. He probably said that.
To suggest that he said it in that manner,
I don't know.
Favorable to your argument.
Exactly.
That's all it is. It's
and you guys are saying in favor of your argument.
No,
we don't know.
I'm just saying that. I've played defender before, and I've been in a situation where I didn't hear the goalie and where I did hear the goalie. And when I didn't hear the goalie,
what did you
I always
say to him?
My bad. I didn't hear you.
And what did the goalie
Next
say?
time I got you. He was like, all right, cool.
Did the goalie push you and get aggressive with you?
No, he didn't get up. But when I've heard the goalie and I still cleared it anyway, and I tell him, look, safety first. Keeper's giving me shit because he's letting me know I got this. When I make the call, trust me.
Exactly.
I see everything.
And I think that was
trust
the battle.
me.
I understand that.
That's all.
And
it
I
was.
understand
that ball was
the guy-
happening so quickly in that
Dude,
play.
that's fine, but the
it's going up the middle.
center back has to apologize then and say,
the
look,
defender's response.
my bad, I didn't hear you. Or he can say, fuck it, safety first, but that's going to piss off a
Or even
goalie.
if the goalie's coming at him reckless, the goalie may be wrong because he may be coming at the defender reckless and say something, and the defender's fighting. But the point is,
Your
the
goalie-
goalie sees everything.
Exactly.
Dude,
You
I've
always
also
default to your goalie. You back down to
played
your
with
goalie.
keepers for the fact that they'll just yell to yell, and they're so crazy that if you do make a bad play, where it's like,
Those
Tens
keepers
against
you played
goalies,
with,
yeah.
did they ever make a World Cup?
no, I understand that.
So you got
But
a 10.
none of us
They
played with
weren't
somebody that
Yeah, you got a
played
10,
with
man.
in this World Cup.
Not this World
Yeah.
Cup, but
Yeah.
but there's some national team players I played with who are
But it's-
serious, and it's just
There was a
it's-
misunderstanding.
To get
They
it
kept
face to
moving.
face.
look. Those are the battles you want. If I'm a coach
want
anyway,
passion.
I want those guys going at each other so they sort it out, they
Exactly.
clear it up, and then we move on.
Exactly.
And you could tell in this game was beneficial because after that, none of that bullshit was happening.
I understand,
That's
but
not bad.
I just
Put him
don't
in
like the
place.
whole. I do not like the whole getting in my face type of thing right
It
there.
happens,
I get
man.
that, but you
Teammates
need that.
happen.
No,
You
I,
need
no,
that.
trust me, I've been in those.
Dude,
but at the
I've
same time, it's,
grabbed teammates
Yeah.
by the scruff of their jerseys by the neck and don't over dribble in midfield. I'm playing defense. You're screwing us over. Why are you over dribbling in midfield? You know, like
but
sometimes
that's
you need.
fine.
but
those-
that's a time and time again type of thing.
you need those conversations sometimes is what I'm saying, and it's not always the worst thing. It's not always the worst thing to get in someone's face.
I know, I understand that, but
I'll
that
get-
I
I'll
still
get in
think.
your face right now.
Oh. But I no,
mind.
I just think that's
Never
still
mind.
a good play.
Never mind.
If he doesn't hear the keeper, I still think that's a fantastic play to clear that ball like that.
Fantastic.
I haven't said it for a while.
That was your old one. Dude, everyone got the prediction right for the top two teams going through except Al. Al had Portugal, Spain. We all had Spain, Portugal. This was an easy one. Al took a gamble. Unlucky on that one.
And
But
he
yeah,
was
man.
so close.
God damn. 3 hours in. That wraps it up for us, guys. Wow. I hope we made up for missing the episode yesterday. For those of you who are still listening, you guys are legends. Absolute legends. We appreciate your support.
I forgot one thing.
Oh, boy.
Spain, Morocco. Once Morocco scored, there was a little clip of look at Iniesta on the field, and then he looks to his left up at the Moroccan fans. What? 2 minutes later, Iniesta gets the ball, right down the 6, passes across to Isco, scores.
Legend.
Right there. I don't care how old he is. When you see the other fans chanting like that, you pull something from the basement.
Dude,
You find energies from wherever you can.
Dude, and
you
that-
knew there was something in that for those
And he
fans.
turned the corner on that defender. That defender had to jump out the way to not give a PK. Like he
Just
used
experience.
his last juice in his legs.
But it was
for
just
those fans,
one of those
to
moments
silence him.
where you're just like, God. When you're playing against that type of play, it's like, no.
That little bit of brown patch of hair he had, it turned gray. It turned
Like, you
gray.
know,
use
you
it
know
up.
how to, like, what to do. They're older now. This and then they still do
There's
it.
Certain
There's no
guys, man, like De
replacement for
Bruyne. When De Bruyne
experience.
gets old, you don't talk.
He's just
smack
gonna
to
ping
De
it.
Bruyne.
Yeah,
It's like a
don't-
Paul-
you're still gonna have to be tight. Don't
Exactly,
give him
dude.
I feel like
space to shoot.
Scholes, it's going to be like Scholes when he was older. De Bruyne, he's just going to ping it on someone's foot.
Yeah, he'll be that
Probably,
guy. I think that's
probably a little
good-
better. Probably a little better with the dribbles.
better tackler.
Yeah.
I don't know if he'll
Look, I
ping
love
like
Scholes.
Scholes. Scholes ping
Yeah,
was
no, Scholes
iconic.
ping was problem.
It was iconic.
Problematic. All right, guys. Thank you. We appreciate it. The guys who stuck around, you guys are hardcores. If you stuck around, man, let us know. Let us know you stuck around just to see who's out there doing it. I'm sure Luke Whitty stuck around. I don't know about Spiteri. He's been bitching a lot lately. I don't know if he stuck around. If you stuck around, we appreciate it,
PFC
homie.
marathon right here. World Cup marathon.
Anyone else we didn't shout out by name? My bad. My memory's fried right now. We've been speaking for 3 hours debating footy, as we would have anyway. Appreciate your support. Anything else, Bus, Tom? Damn, we did a 3-hour show with a 3-man.
Hour
Imagine
piece.
Snacks was in here just loud.
Oh, man, if snacks are out.
This would have been a 6-hour cast.
It's getting hot in here too, so I think Al and I would have went at it a little bit because
Yeah,
you know he
yeah,
gets
yeah.
frustrated. Oh yeah, by the way, if you see Al in Russia at some point, first off, we don't know if he's making it. We have no idea, but if you
Al's
see
gonna
him,
go to Russia through Chechnya.
yeah, he
He's
said
gonna backpack
he
into
literally said
Russia.
to us, I'm going to go to Russia and see how far I can actually make it.
No, I'm going to Europe, and I'm gonna see how close I can get to Russia.
Like I
Like, what is
don't
that?
know
What is that?
exactly.
It's like Ukraine, maybe. Like what is that?
We don't even know where he's landing. I don't know where he's going. He didn't make it clear. Either way, man, Al was supposed to be on this. He thought his flight was tomorrow. It's today. even that in itself is like, this is an
Sketchy as
international
hell.
flight, dude. What's going on?
He's going like
you coming
Anthony
back?
Bourdain type of thing. He's going like no reservations.
Right.
And then we did have one question real quick about
Piss
yes,
away.
Spiteri. Where's the fantasy league invite? Spiteri, we already put it up. There's a video that we put up for it as well.
Pay attention.
So
Step your game up.
doesn't matter. You be behind me anyways.
BB.
Boom.
All right. Appreciate the listen, guys. We'll be back again in a couple of days with more Match Day 3 wrap-up action. Peace.